everybody. We're back with a new campaign. New characters. Who dis? Real quick announcements, I guess. All the character art you can see on the overlay right now is all done by a wonderful artist called Robert Huang. You can find them on Twitter at artvarbis, Varbas.
Oh yeah.
They do good shit, as you can tell.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Smart artist.
Solid shit. Yeah, our next campaign. It's right here. I'm very excited. The overlay took a long time to make, so I'm excited about that. I got someone else I was gonna say, but I can't think about it. I can't think of it right now. Kate, do you have anything fun to say?
I sure do. Hey folks, it's that time of the day, of the week, that time of the month, to do some shameless plugs for my creative outsourcing. That's not the good word to use.
Boy.
I don't know what I'm saying. It's been a while. But if you wanna support another small artist, you can check out my Etsy shops at etsy.com/shop/KCraftStudio US or etsy.com/shop/BadDiceCo for a bunch of, really cool D&D themed stickers and vinyl things for your car or your suitcase or your laptop. But I've also got a Redbubble that I just added a bunch of new designs to, so go check that out. You can get a color block flump, you can get a pirate map, you can get a certified silly goose button. Those are some new things that I've added to my Redbubble shop, so go ahead and check that out too. Also coming up soon, we got some pride fish, cause it's Pride Month.
Woo.
So yeah, go check that out soon. I'll have to repost them because they were a little bit funky last year, but go check out all the things. Ta-da! I did it.
You did it. Perfectly fine. You did it. We all did it. Sam, do you got anything?
We finished our one shot finally.
Yay!
And I have finally finished work for the year, so I will be able to have time to start prepping for returning eventually.
Excellent.
Just got to finish learning a new system.
Yep.
Learning is power.
And the more learning is half the battle. Speaking of
G.I. Joe.
I got this kind of segues off G.I. Joe. I got the ending of. Never mind, that's a spoiler. Let's continue. It's a spoiler for a movie that's in theaters, and I just realized I'd spoil it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
If people care about the movie that's in theaters.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the Spider-Man movie yet, and
I haven't either.
It just came out. Okay, chill.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
let me just go.
It's been 5 days.
So,
alright, chill.
I'll go to jail. My bad.
Speaking of jail. Things are gonna get weird. The year is 75 AT, also known as the Age of Tranquility, even though it really hasn't been tranquil for those last 75 years, so, there's that. 6 years ago, every living thing on Del Nasra and across the planes of existence, that music sounds a little loud to me, died in a single moment. Life as people knew it ceased to exist. The whole of reality was lifeless, dead in an event that came to be known as the Unmaking. Something, however, occurred within the depths of Del Nasra, in a place where the gods locked their true forms away, a place known as the Panopticon of the Prime. A powerful entity from beyond the stars was defeated, the old creator god Cathathuin, and whatever strange reunion this god had planned to accomplish was halted, and with that, life returned to the world and into existence as a whole, thanks to a group known as the Faust and the Furious.
Family.
It's family.
Family.
Due to their actions, all of those that died in the unmaking returned to life, their souls returning to their bodies wherever they fell, some in not so great places, such as deep in the ocean, which is not a good place to wake up. And everyone who woke up renewed in their bodies awoke with fleeting, fuzzy memories of a never-ending void filled with eyes, and a knowledge that they had each collectively died on the same day. Just a strange sort of knowing. Some would have just woken up from sleep that they went to on the night before, not thinking anything different, but then learning what had happened. The world changed after this. Continents long since forgotten returned to the world, and magic surged across the globe, causing strange arcane events to happen on an almost daily basis. Doorways to other planes opened up in cities, in people's bedrooms, across the globe. These weird portals to other planes of existence just opened. Strange storms, like blizzards in the middle of the desert, torrential rainstorms in people's houses, just avalanches in places where they shouldn't happen. Lots of weird things, and also creatures impossibly appearing in places like they could never be. Anundil City at one point, overrun by dinosaurs that just spilled out into the city through portals. Dawnbreak Cove on the continent of Ipshire mysteriously vanished for a few days, and when it returned to the continent, the people of Dawnbreak Cove said they were safely floating beneath the surface of the ocean, the entire city, in a bubble. 6 years on, these events are still occurring, and we find ourselves on just one of these newly returned continents, Cathatuuin, a continent that floats high among the clouds to the far east of Dal Nasra, about a good 300-400 miles east of Silgar. As we drift through these early morning clouds, we come to the city of Embers, once known as Cathatuuin, a proud city in the heart of the Cathatuun Empire, and where the world itself was born and created by this creator god. Or so the legends say. The legends that a certain adventuring party uncovered and shared with the world. Through books published by their patron, one Ogden Boone. This city is unique in its design, for this city is built out of nothing but angular, colorful crystals in all spectrums of color. And the city itself is surrounded by a lush, tropical rainforest spanning numerous miles in every direction. The streets are paved obsidian, where people of all lineages and walks of life mill about, while airships, devoid of sails, but instead have bird-like wings on the sides, drift through the air, as a good portion of this city floats above the streets by the way of magic, accessible by flying stagecoaches and these airships. The city is governed by a mysterious individual who rules out of a large crystalline tower in the northeastern region of the city, known only as Goad, and is rarely seen by the public, being quoted as not wanting to interfere in the daily affairs of the people. Just a classic politician. And amidst this arcane splendor, crystal buildings and a torrent of flying airships, one singular building stands out. In the western reaches of the city, near the exterior, and nestled firmly on the ground, one of the only buildings that is nestled on the ground aside from a few others, is the only building of stone in the entirety of the city. The tower is hewn from simple gray bricks and rises about 2 stories upwards to a domed peak where a thatched roof sits, with a simple chimney expelling gray smoke. A singular window resides on the south-facing portion of the tower and is slightly cracked. Surrounding the exterior of the tower is a large, white picket fence, which encases a grass field devoid of any flowers or trees, and is instead filled with a 6-foot deep, pit, surrounded by empty wooden benches for some sort of audience. Across from the pit is what appears to be a makeshift obstacle course of balance beams, pits, and rotating spinning platforms, a large stone door with a face carved on it, and other weird obstacles, some familiar to the gathered, some not. Each of you that are gathered here today have received a letter or come across a pamphlet out in the world from an individual named Sir Arthur Wordweave, inviting you to this tower from all over the world with the promise of renown, recognition, 1,000 gold pieces to all who complete some sort of trial investigation, and according to these letters and pamphlets, the most important reward of all, more important than 1,000 gold, more important than renown, recognition, credit, in a book known as Rise of the Arcane, which will be detailing the magical phenomena that has been occurring around the world for the last 6 years. Sir Arthur Wordweave is indeed a name recognized by most of the people gathered here today. Maybe. Most likely. Some of you, probably not. And it's not just you all that have answered the invitations. Hundreds of people have gathered in front of this tower, holding the exact same letters or pamphlets you've received. They're talking amongst themselves, clamoring, curious about what these trials may hold. People are pointing to the fighting pit, wondering if it's going to be all-out brawling, and then begin sizing up the competition. People look towards the obstacle course, wondering if it's going to be completing the obstacle course. Some of you may feel hopeful if it's the obstacle course. And as the voices begin to reach a deafening tone of hundreds of people talking out at once, the front doors of the tower open up, and a silence falls over the crowd. Exiting the tower and approaching the gathered collective is a halfling man, standing around 3 feet tall. You'd guess he's in his mid-50s for a halfling, so still relatively young. He has luxurious, smooth, well taken care of, glowing pale skin, like he has just freshly moisturized his skin. Vibrant green eyes, and a head of very tousled, blonde, luxurious shoulder-length curls. Very pompous looking, very vain looking, very... This person cares a lot about their appearance. They also have a pointed goatee and curled mustache, similar to a Van Dyke, and nestled behind his left ear is this very elegant, extravagant flamingo feather quill. Purple velvet waistcoat, with a frilly, ruffled white silk undershirt similar to William Shakespeare. The sleeves are also frilly and ruffled, with a pair of elegant black pants and pointy-toed brown dress shoes. Some of you recognize Sir Arthur Wordweave, a self-titled, renowned author. Let that sink in. Self-titled, renowned author, and recently titled scholar. He's written a series of fictional works over the decades, the most notable being Half-Mast and Full Hearts, his first work, and a book considered to be a terribly written smut about 2 male gnomes stuck on a ship trying to keep their feelings for one another at bay, but falling to temptation while a murderous plot unfolds. The other more notable book is called Temptation, which was critically acclaimed and thought to be a novel about the author's fictitious adventures and claims on the continent you find yourselves. He gives the gathered crowd a glance and a dazzling smile, showing off his incredibly, almost impossibly pearly white teeth. Oh, aren't you all a curious and exciting bunch? Marvelous. He clasps his arms behind his back and stands up straight, begins to pace back and forth, attempting to size up the 100 or so people that have gathered, and you all quickly realize that he realizes that there's far too many people here. I'll admit, I did not expect this many people to answer the call. That shows real spirit and determination. And I can assure each and every one of you that you're here with a professional and not a second-rate archaeologist. He turns his back towards the tower and produces a type of handheld conical horn from his pocket and puts his mouth against a makeshift mouthpiece and pauses. Oh, and before we begin, make sure to check out the local bookstores in the city and purchase a copy of my latest book, Back from the Brink. We all died 6 years ago, and I had a very personal experience with that event and found answers that you too can experience for only 35 gold. Just deafening silence. All right, Terry, it's time. As he shouts through the conical hand horn, and there's a few seconds of awkward silence. People are kind of like looking around before a loud explosion is set off behind the tower, causing Sir Arthur to leap out of fright and scream and shout, "Oh, goodness!" The explosion rockets up towards the sky in a shower of homemade fireworks that paint the visage of a winking Sir Arthur in the sky. He turns back towards you all, and approaching from behind the tower, there's like some awkward claps, and walking from behind the tower, who have just set off the firework, you see a nearly spherical, weirdly pink goblin who's built like a sphere, chubby, sphere-shaped, holding a clipboard with a scroll of parchment nailed onto it. The goblin has a tuft of messy white hair, 2 blue eyes that nearly bulge forth from the sockets, an incredibly crooked nose, and no teeth whatsoever. They are, however, wearing a rather well-kept, nice-looking black waistcoat, a white undershirt, and a red bow tie. "Oh!" the goblin says, wiping soot from his face, looks firmly at the group of everyone, his tongue slightly hanging out from the corner of his mouth, and he blinks each of his eyes separately, and as he does, they each make an audible noise when he blinks, due to their just sheer size. Just... "This is Terry, my faithful assistant and notary. He caught the ire of some pixies when he was a wee lad, and, well, as the brave gentleman I am, I rescued him from their clutches, and he has served me here ever since. Terry's job today is to take notes about how each group performs, for I can only take a few of you in on this great adventure in the making." More fireworks go off in the background, clearly not planned. And you can see the goblin begins to write something down as that occurs. And Sir Arthur attempts to regain his composure. "So, I think the best way to test the capabilities of those gathered here is by testing out your investigative qualities, since you'll be investigating for most of the time we work together. That is why you're all here." And you can see he pauses, looking around, clearly waiting for some sort of applause. And there's a few, like, claps. In the far back of the group, you can hear someone go, "Woo! Woo! Yeah!" You'll all gather into teams and spread out into the city to complete a scavenger hunt of sorts. The first team to return here in 3 hours with the most items checked off their list wins. One team is already down, unfortunately, for what would seem to be some sort of drug-induced psychosis, so each of you have a better chance of winning. And it seems that people have already begun to put themselves in a group, arriving in groups, and again, just setting up, getting into teams, and as they do, the goblin Terry waddles over, gives them a list, and they sprint off into the city, just running off into the city. "Oh!
Vonkar, we better get going."
Oh, right.
Pick your teams and get going, you don't have much time." And quickly, people have arrived in teams, essentially, possibly having some knowledge that some of you don't have. Eventually, the choices have dwindled down, leaving only 7, technically 8, individuals left. Firstly, you all see an elderly Duergar in armor, accompanied by what can only be described as a skin leather, bandaged, tall individual who is extremely upsetting to look at.
Upsetting.
And a Lizardfolk child resembling a small bipedal 4-foot-tall bipedal white gecko, wearing a straw hat and adorned in a burlap sack and vegetables. Sam, what do we see when the others look at you?
I'm not the lizard folk kid. I'm Duergar. So Vonkar is about, I think it's like 5 feet tall. He's a little tall for Duergar. He is old as hell. His like apparent age, if you were to compare him to like a human, would be like late 60s, early 70s, which for a Duergar is centuries old. His skin is deep purple. His eyes are like a solid cloudy white, and his hair is like mostly white with a little bit of gray left over. He's wearing like heavy, thick plate mail, and no weapons to speak of, but he does have like not quite gauntlets, but sort of like metal plates that are like attached onto the back of his hand, and then his fingers almost like through rings and like loop space, kind of like the fingerless glove equivalent of gauntlets. And one of the other things that is noticeable when you're up close to him, because his armor actually doesn't come past the elbow, so you can see his forearms, you can kind of see like the neck, is that, and on his face as well. At first it looks like tattoos, but if you get close enough, you can see that it looks like he actually has veins of several different types of precious metals like running through his skin, like as though they would run through the earth, just like gold and silver and copper, like just running through, just crisscrossing over and like seemingly like set into his skin, not just on the surface. But as he moves, they sort of like flex and move with his skin, so they don't seem to like cause him any pain or anything like that.
All right.
Yeah, just big jolly Santa Claus smile on his face.
Prepare yourselves. Garrett, what do we see when the others look at you?
Pretty much like what was described. If you were close enough to hear the voice, you might gather that the voice doesn't seem to be coming from the face of this bound person.
Then, we're doing something a little different in this campaign. I gave them a sidekick to start with, basically. And he could have arrived with any of the groups, really. But the first group that picked him up were the weirdos. Well, one of the weirdos. So, the Lizardfolk is about 4 feet tall, bipedal, white gecko, slightly cross-eyed, slightly chubby, stubby legs, very scrawny arms. He looks like he's constantly happy and always smiling, and extremely clumsy. He wears a cape, in quotes, that is tied off around his neck that trails behind him, clearly made from a child's blanket, and it's dark blue in color, made from wool, covered in cartoonish and colorful drawings of various onions with cartoonish faces that show a range of emotions, and it is the only well-kept piece of his attire. Wears a straw hat, and like most straw hats, there's like a cloth that wraps around the hat. Instead of a cloth, wrapping around the hat are knotted together asparagus. And the glasses he wears are kind of like Coke bottle glasses that kind of magnify his eyes a little bit, but not a lot. He wears a rough-looking burlap sack as a sleeveless, long, knee-length vest. Like a dark brown, rough-looking burlap sack. Beneath that is a soot-stained gray turtleneck sweater, wool, covered in scorch marks, and the sleeves have been burnt off at the shoulders. The arms are incredibly skinny and covered in numerous armbands that go down from the elbow to the wrist and are made from tied together scallions. A pair of really rough-looking burlap pants with large holes in the knees, a heavily knotted rope belt. The left side of the belt is just a collection of cooking tools, knives, spoons, forks, a small pot with a handle. There's a tarnished silver flask on this side, shaped like an onion, and a plush toy resembling a cartoonish white radish with a very anime-inspired ooh-woo face on it. The other side of the belt is a sturdy cast-iron frying pan and this small olive-green colored sack filled with writhing rhinoceros grubs. Large fucking grubs. Doesn't wear anything on his feet, and perched on his right shoulder is an eye, this sort of patchy looking lemur with yellow eyes that is eating a mango. Well, Uncle Vonkar and Uncle Grian, is this the place where we had to go? Is this everyone we had to go find? What? Right? This is it, right?
Yeah, we need to find the group now. Like, quick.
There are not many people left, and he kind of points to, like, the others. Yeah, okay. We'll go. Let's talk to them.
Well, why don't you go ahead and lead the charge, young man?
All right. And he runs off, and because he has 6 dexterity, immediately faceplants. All right, let's go. He gets up and like, runs over.
All right.
The next collection, 6 dexterity. As that's occurring, you all see 2 individuals. Next, a short, bipedal rabbit person and this beautiful looking blue-skinned elf. Lex, what do we see when people look at you, aside from the beauty that is in the overlay in the webcam right now?
You see an elven figure, blue skin, a soft light blue skin. Their face is angular but still soft, like a mix, like a almost a perfect cordial mix of both masculine and feminine. Their eyes are entirely violet with flecks of what appear to be like twinkling silver light. Their hair is a variety of blue that goes like almost an ombre. At the roots it goes really dark, and at the tips it goes almost white. You see that they're on their arms, that you can see that are exposed. You see they have these geometric line style tattoos that are royal purple in color, and they go all the way up underneath the tunic that they're wearing. Their clothes range from soft pink to deep violet. They wear a comfortable fitting beige tunic with an elegant form-fitting overcoat, both of which are sleeveless. Over the left shoulder is almost like a shoulder cape. And on the inside, from what you can tell, whenever you get like a glimpse of it, is pink, but there seems to be like these silver runes that are embroidered and woven into it. You see they have a almost like a double layered belt, almost like a sash under one, and then like an actual like belt that carries a variety of pouches and what appears to be like a deep green leather bound book. They were searching every other group possible at the moment. They are not even probably looking in y'all's direction as you approach, in hopes that they do not have to deal. They would probably just turn around hearing the approaching and would look at their companion, this rabbit, with stoic surprise.
Speaking of which, Kate, what does everybody see, including the people that are now approaching?
Well, you see this 3 foot tall at the tip of the ears, fully extended, rabbit folk, with a Harlequin fur pattern. One half of him is chocolate brown, the other half is more of a cream color, with the opposite color freckled on either side. And he is decked out in this very formal, almost ceremonial looking chainmail armor set, with the motif of leaves scattered all over the areas where padding would be more efficient than actual chain, as well as the entirety of his shield is shaped like layers of leaves stacked on top of each other. He also has a forest green cloak that kind of covers his back, and around on his head he has goggles that have a faint glow of green in the lenses, as well as a few other mechanisms that are whirring and twirling for unknown purposes. On his opposite arm from his shield arm, he has a bracer that has a bunch of little gears and buttons on it that might do stuff, might not. And he has a sword in the shape of a leaf, almost like the shape of Sting from The Hobbit, kind of like that flared flat blade kind of vibe. And his own assortment of pouches and sacks for which to store different materials for things. And he just looks at this approaching creature. It's like, Monsieur Antyr, I believe this is the child we were sent to find.
What?
Should we not introduce ourselves?
I assume that we should maybe have a word with them. I just their eyes are gonna glance toward. I want to know how the skin person walks. Like,
Not
is it
easily, I can tell you that.
Is it like almost like an awkward? I imagine in my head, it's like walking in a mermaid tail dress. The knees are kind of bent in, and you're kind of like almost
like
waddling.
the nurses from Silent Hill.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh no! Way worse.
So
Yeah.
you see that approaching, kind of
Oh,
like jerky, like trying to like walk, and then you got this old man Duergar, about 5 feet tall, and then sprinting at you two is this 4 foot tall, cross-eyed Lizardfolk boy dressed in weird clothes, just going, "Hey, ha!"
Bonjour. Are you perhaps Leek?
Looks back towards Vonkar and grin. "Hey, remember how there are those people in the tavern that were looking for me? And then we were told to hide? Because they're..."
Uh-oh.
Kind of just points.
No.
No,
We were sent by Antigotho.
You were sent by Mama?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh.
And we were told to find you. And it seems that you've already made some friends.
Yeah, these are my uncles.
Oh, well, your mother didn't tell us that your uncles were going to be present, but okay.
We're recent family. We just met a few days ago.
Oh, lovely.
It'd be 3 weeks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Are you?
Then you just hear that muffling.
Which actually does seem to be coming from the person standing there.
Antyr's gonna point a finger and press the other hand to their ear, and they're gonna cast message at the
Interesting.
skin figure. Did you have something to say?
Skin figure.
Release me. Release me. With everything inside you.
Okay,
So
call
me.
ended. Call
Release me.
ended.
Release me.
Call.
That was quick.
Antyr's eyes go like wide.
Yeah.
Pardon, is there something wrong with your uncle? He seems muffled.
Nope.
No, no, we're fine.
Right.
Who was that? Hello? Hello?
No, that's me.
And you see like the creep standing there. You see them. It looks like they're being like kind of jerked around.
Like, yeah, it's me. You know, me. I'm the creep. The worst. I'm the worst.
He is the worst.
He's the worst. You know, the worst person.
Okay. I'm Antyr.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You as well.
I am Sir Upper Thimblefoot, Chevalier de la Grande Varte.
Opera Thimblefoot?
Hopper?
Like opera?
No, hop. Like what rabbits do, like hop, hop.
Fuck?
They do that too. No, Hopper.
Oh, Hopper,
Thimblefoot.
Hopper. I'm sorry. I'm not. It's been a while since I heard any kind of accent. Well, anyway, I could understand, but sorry about that. Okay, Hopper, and then what was the other? What was the other name?
Anteater. Oh.
No, last name I meant.
Oh, Thimblefoot.
Symbol. So, am I translating?
Thimblefoot.
Thimblefoot. Oh, because your feet are real small. I like that.
Yes.
Tiny feet. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very large for my kind.
I don't know.
Comparatively.
I don't.
You
And I
have-
just like kind of kick my foot.
Vonkar, you've been in a group before. Do they look promising?
Well, a while ago, yeah, they seem nice, yeah.
I don't have a last name.
That's all right. You don't need a last name. They're formality's sake, if you will. So Vonkar is you.
Yes, I'm Vonkar Eldsaga.
You're quite old.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm 8.
That's quite young. And
Yep.
creep, correct?
Yep. He's the worst.
Cursed by the gods.
Oh, how
You say that a
unfortunate.
lot.
Yeah. He deserves it, I think.
In what way is he the worst?
All of them.
Yeah, just is.
Just a matter of their being
Um,
is of the worst.
Why'd my mama tell you to find me?
She wanted us to bring you this.
Is it cabbage?
No, it is not cabbage. It is your bear.
That's
and
cabbage.
Oh.
And I pull out the teddy bear.
Yeah. So the bear.
I was not aware the bear was named Cabbage.
It's
Me neither. I don't think we gave a name.
It's a patchwork teddy bear. That looks like it's made from sewn together hides of different animals from the jungle. Instead of button eyes, it looks like it has 2 human blue eyes sewed into the front of it. Just giving it an unsettling stare. It has a Glasgow smile filled with various human teeth of different colors, stages of decay. Wearing a ruffled collar, also similar to Shakespeare, and a patchwork frock coat of assorted fabrics. You found cabbage!
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of cabbage.
That looks like something the Archmaw would have.
Yeah.
Just a rough sketch. Not completed yet.
Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown.
Yeah. You found cabbage.
But
Oh,
Vanessa,
thank you
no
so
hablo
much.
inglés.
He just kind of like hugs it and then ties it off on his belt.
Right where he belongs.
This is Captain.
They belong.
This is also Captain, pointing to the I.
Oh!
Hello,
Indolus.
hello.
And
I
the-
am Captain. I like mangoes.
Oh, Indolus doesn't talk like that. And as Antyr says this, a bird peeks out from the hair. This wide, unsettling. You know what a patoo bird is, with a large mouth the massive mouth, like beak. The skin is just like, or the feathers are almost like what you see behind me, of variations of like deep rougey purple, and like twinkling stars and such. Endless doesn't talk like a captain does, but they have the same looking eyes.
And while this conversation is going on, out of the periphery, you can see two more people kind of just standing there as the groups have all dispersed, just leaving this fun gang of people. You see a wide-eyed Duergar with tattoos, and a strange being which you'd recognize as one of the Mimicborn, which returned to the world about 6 years ago or so, around the same time as all this weird magic shit started happening. So, Caleb, what do we see when looking at you?
Gives me a moment. Okay. So it's like what you'd see is when you looks at me is you'd see like someone who's real tall, who's like a whole 4'10", and you sees me. I've got tattoos all over my arms and face, and there's tattoos. There's goods tattoos and there's bads tattoos, and I just got all sorts of clothes on me. You know, like the clothes that's cover you's body, and parts of my hairs is missing because you wants to see the new tattoos I got, because I won, and it's then also you'd sees that I've got huge saucer eyes, so no one can sees me when I'm in the dark, but I can see you when I's in the dark. Also, oh yeah, I got shoes that they's got wings on them. And that's what you sees when you looks at me. Just, regulars clothes and goods tattoos and bads tattoos.
Alright. I guess, last but certainly not least, Brittany, what do people see when they look at you?
I think your
Muted.
mic's off.
Rough.
Oh no.
Yep, you just
Not
muted it.
technical difficulties.
Now you're unmuted.
If you need to go to your mute settings and see if you need to select.
Can
the
you
correct...
hear this?
There it is.
There it is.
Oh no, I'll fix that during the break. I have to use my webcam mic. Oh no. Oh
That
yeah.
sounds fine.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could do the voice for the description, but besides seeing this very lanky, gaunt figure, what most people are drawn to is this 10-foot tongue that is spiraling out of their mouth, holding a really interesting looking staff that's made from birch bark, and perched, well, not really perched, more like skewered at the top is this porcelain doll head that you would swear is looking at you with one eye no matter where you're looking at, and the other eye's closed. But no matter if you try to look away, you keep feeling your hairs on the neck stand up. And you see them scribbling away in this book. And on the front of the book, you see there's this tower on it that's on fire. And they have a very well-worn, well-loved purple long-sleeve jacket. You can tell it's been repaired over and over and over again. It's like your favorite teddy bear that you just keep stitching up. Doesn't matter if it's like just like a lump of string at that point. That's what it looks like. And you can see that they can see you very well with 4 eyes, opposed to most people just looking with 2 eyes. And as you look around their head, you can tell that they do not have any distinct facial hair, nor hair on any place of their body, nor can you tell any outward ears. And besides that, if you're looking down their body, seeing the well-worn clothes, you would notice a absence of shoes and just these very nice long toes just digging themselves in the street.
What about the teeth?
How many rows of teeth?
If you catch a
All of
glimpse
them.
of the teeth in the light, you would think there was only one. No, wait, no. What is that? Is that a second? Oh no, that's a third row you're looking at right there. They're very sharp, and it looks as though the most similar thing that you could imagine is almost like a shark mouth with all the rows just coming out.
Yeah, that's right. My new best friends aims like the cone heads.
So, Doe and Torger, the two of you, as you're standing off looking around trying to find people, you can see this group that has slowly started to gather. You can see people matching descriptions you have only heard about a couple days ago. You see, specifically, when you went to the tavern, you heard about how a group had to lock themselves away in their private room because they were having a psychotic break after getting some ayahuasca from a blue elf. In addition, you see the elderly Duergar and creepy dude described as companions of the child you encountered in the tavern. So you recognize the child that you saw in the tavern for like a fleeting second as he was carving something into a bar table, unsupervised.
Antyr,
Mm.
that
Yes?
dwarf has an unsettling gaze. Should we go
I-
say hi?
You know, at this point, I think it would be better if we just allow them to. We can see you. Hello. You make it hard to miss that you're staring at us.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, Doe. Doe.
It's not really picking
Oh.
up the voice.
Doe, I'm so sorry. You're so tall, I can't hear what you're saying.
Torture.
Yes.
On uncles. And the druggie.
Oh, yes. That's whose these are. I sees them. All right. So, I guess we's going to say hello?
You want me to go first? And Doe slaps the book closed and like opens her jacket and puts it in her pocket there.
Mhm.
No, I've been picked last on Rock Ball. I can say hello.
I'll follow you, Torture.
Oh, okay. Hellos. We's comes with all sorts of skills. What's yours guys bringing to the table?
Were you reading that off of a pamphlet or something?
No. Closes the book that he has.
You two look familiar.
Good
And it kind of
Oh yes.
just kind of
Use
gets
the small
just
child.
kind of gets distracted and like looks around, like up in the air and stuff.
Right. Well, formal introductions. Hello, my name is Antyr Xiloscient. I'm an arcanist, to put it simply. Those are my skills.
Druggie.
I am Sir Hopper Thimblefoot. I do a little bit of, tactical magic, but also, physical tactics, whatever the situation demands at the time.
This is the creep. Me.
And you'd see like a chain around the neck just kind of like going all over the place, and kind of a voice follows in that direction.
If anything bad happens to me, I probably deserve it.
And I'm Vonkar Eldsaga. Nice to meet all of you. Oh, in terms of what we do, well, I hit things, I suppose. Never been good at really describing my skill set.
I get hit. We're a good combo.
I'm Leek.
Very good at it.
My name's Leek. I'm 8 years old. I like to eat bugs, but my bugs taste real good and make you feel better. And I like to start fires. And this is my best friend and brother, Captain. Hello, I am Captain. And this is Cabbage. He just points to the gross-looking bear on his side.
Cabbage is lovely.
Cabbage kills people. No, I'm just kidding. Mama made cabbage for me. And I forgot cabbage when I came here to look for friends.
It's all right. That's why we were here. Why we found you is for the fact that we would have to bring it to you. Anyway, Leek. I think we have something to do. What is y'all's names? You said your name was. What was it again?
No, I am the ones they call Torger, and I am wondering. You said your names was Vonkar?
Yeah, that's me.
You look real familiar.
Do I? I'll be honest, if you met me any time over the past 200 years, I don't remember.
200 years, you says.
Give or take. More than that, I think 250. I lost count.
Yes, lost counts, huh?
Yep, lost count.
Did anyone get the piece of paper we needed for this scavenger hunt?
Yes, that's what I do. I brings the paper. I's got one right here. He flips through the book, pulls it out. But yous didn't let my main friend know. They don't get to say their name. Oh no, I screwed it up.
Did perfect, Torger. And you can tell Doe is taller than Torger, for sure, by far. But it looks like Doe is trying to almost shrink themselves behind Torger. Like, very socially awkward.
As the group has gathered, Arthur kind of walks over now, and he's kind of like apprehensive of a couple of you. He sees you, looks at Vonkar. Ah, yes, Vinny! Good to see you again. And then looks over at the creep. Yes. Yes. You're a wily one. Chad. And then looks over to Antyr and Hopper. Ah, Anton and Jeremy. It's good to see you two again. He looks towards Doe and Torger, and I don't believe we've been acquainted. I am Sir Arthur Wardweave, author extraordinaire, and you two look mighty powerful. But the clock is ticking, and he hands you. Who does he trust the most?
We's brought the pamphlet.
He hands the he hands a piece of parchment to Antyr.
Ungar was going to say, oh, by the way, I finished that book you lent me.
Oh, what do you think?
I thought it was very good.
Oh wait, you acquired the other book. I'm still working on the one that I received. So.
Well, it's only been 3 days since I gave it to you. You don't look like a fast reader.
Good to know.
Since you like the book so much, he's gonna hand the scavenger list to Vonkar.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm gonna post it in the group chat for you all to read.
He'll hold it out for everyone to see.
Antyr, I am right at level with these nuts. Would you like me to punch them for you?
You know, I kind of, but not yet. No. He will be employing us, so.
Good luck, everyone. The clock is ticking. And he runs off back into his tower, leaving the 7 of you standing in the city as another firework goes off, signaling that the scavenger hunt has begun. You have 3 hours before it ends. 3 hours to get as many items off the list as you can, and then get back to the tower. And I've posted the list in the group chat for you all to scan at your leisure.
Okay.
Vonkar, I got the first one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does the creep wear shoes? I mean, do you wear shoes?
People would see this this shoe kind of get dropped from seemingly from nowhere, like at the feet of the creep, and it kind of sloshes a little inside.
Smell,
well,
smell
that's
that.
done.
You can definitely tell it's from a guy down on his luck.
And it's like stale wine.
All right. Let's see. Let's just go through this really quick. Vonkar squints and, like, experiments with the distance to find where it's easiest to read.
Plays a little
And-
trombone.
Yeah, and ends up going with, like, nearly full arm length. Yeah, do it definitely with that. Read it like that.
All right.
Oh, we got a silly hat for each member of the group. The skull of a strange creature. A vial of noxious slime from the undercity. Off limits, so be careful and don't get caught. Oh dear. A piece of crystal from the roof of the sky dock. The finger bone of a priest. Oh, that'll be hard. A bottle of the most expensive liqueur. A pound of hair. An experience worth telling. A platinum coin. The best dessert. Mole removed from the nose of a hag. Jar of invisible ink. Milk from an unordinary creature. Cookie cutter shaped like a unicorn. A penny farthing. Glass slipper missing its mate. A paper wasp nest in a jar. Tiny hourglass without sand in it. Clothes stolen from a scarecrow. A long list. An urn filled with ashes. Nails from the coffin of a politician. Oh, a teacup from a child's tea set. Spinning top toy that never stops spinning. I don't know where we're gonna find that. A powdered wig. Diary written in a language that we don't know. Oh, we might need to check what languages we know. Pair of old socks. An indecipherable treasure map. Glass eye, and a gift for me. Well, not me, but him, presumably.
There's your list.
I may have an idea for the spinning top.
Oh, really?
Yes, I can, do minor enchantments on certain objects. So if we simply acquire a top, I perhaps can enchant it to make it never stop spinning.
All right. Where? Gosh.
Also, how much is this going to need hair? Cause like, really, just between me and like, you, use all using my vote. No, we could have enough hair for maybe 2 or 3 wigs. Ooh, and then we could make them powdered. Ooh.
Torger,
No.
Torger, there's actually there's a place called the Pickles Patch. It's a menagerie with a lot of weird creatures. You might find a bunch of hair there.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Ooh,
about
and
that
then
place.
if we finds one of them, if we finds one of them that we could also maybe get some of this milk.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Have you ever milked an Umber's Hulk?
What? No, what's a number's Hulk?
Oh, it's one of the most gentlest creatures you've ever met.
Oh boy.
All right. Oh,
The
gosh.
sweet caress of these claws on the side of your face. Ooh.
Alright, so maybe if we stop menagerie, we might be able to get a bunch of these out of here from that.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Are we required to get a certain amount, or is it just whoever gets the most? Is
I
that
believe
the?
it was the team who acquired the most.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
There's like people walking around the city, kind of like in this area where you're standing, just like giving you all looks. Mainly only like one of you is getting looks.
Which one?
Take a wild guess.
All right.
Lumbering body.
Yeah, there's tons of people around. Some of you know points of interest that you visited before in the city.
Yeah, we've been to the bookstore. That's why I got this cool book. It's not going to ever break down, and it's never going to get wet, and it's never going to succumb to fire. It's the perfect journal.
That's good, because I make a lot of fire.
And ice makes a lot of water.
Have you written in your book?
Yes, I had Stowe share their notes with me. Like Stowe, and Ice shares my notes with you. Never, ever, ever cross the street without looking both ways.
Perfect. What language did you write that beautiful phrase in?
I usually do it in Undercommon because that's what most of my people speak.
Oh, I don't know Undercommon, so if you let me borrow it, that's a diary of a language I don't understand.
Oh, this isn't a diary.
We could say it is.
Well, no, that'd be lying. Why would we lie?
Perhaps you could, create a diary entry? Write about what you've been doing today so far, therefore making it a diary.
Yes.
No, but that's sort of like more like a memoir than a diary. And I'm
I
not
do
just
not
talking
think-
to myself. It's a tool for teaching my peoples about the world above.
I know Common, Druidic, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Right, so
Me too.
let's just go, as you said, let's just to the menagerie to start with. And once we get there, we'll figure out the rest.
Do you guys think this is about a pound of hair?
No.
One
On
would
the
have
hair
to
looks
do
like.
the math on the density of your hair before I could, give a definite amount in mass. But perhaps.
Can we shave you? Enough.
Oh, you guys could shave me like a like a baby seal.
But your
People
main
shave
is...
baby seals?
Have you ever not shaved a baby seal?
Where
Yes,
I'm,
I not shave a baby seal every day.
where I'm
Yes.
I
from,
suppose that would be the path of least resistance.
where I'm from, Mama cooks them. We eat them.
How do they
I
taste?
find that hard to believe.
My favorite part's the fins. Flippers.
Mm.
Believe they are flippers, yes.
I think I think the menagerie is this way.
And you see the creep get like kind of tugged and then just kind of like twitchingly start walking towards
Okay.
what they believe the direction of
Yeah,
the
you would know.
menagerie
You
is.
probably know. You probably
Okay.
would have asked around. You were here. You've been here for 3 weeks. Everybody else
Yeah.
that's in this group has been here for like 2 days. As you guys follow, does everybody follow the creep?
Hopper's gonna hesitantly follow the creep.
Come on, they're fine. They're just the
Same,
worst.
yeah. Hmm.
Yes, that is what worries me.
This- you all start like walking through the city of the crystal streets. People are looking because, well, they know that there's like event. You can see other adventuring parties like running around to like getting to shit, and some people are like already like you see people scratching stuff off their list and then tearing off against somewhere else. As you're walking, you see this like burly black minotaur walk up to Creep, like walk up right to him. Hey, Hey, I had some fun with you the other day. Here, just hands
Yeah,
over
well-
like a silver piece,
Oh yeah, let's go.
and just
Wow.
cold
What's
cocks
happening?
punches the creep in the head, and then just keeps going.
Fully goes to the ground.
2
I think
bludgeoning.
you can get a few more swings for that silver.
Oh yeah!
I don't-
And as Creep's on the ground, he just like kicks him twice in the stomach. So
Good kicks, good kicks.
Let's see if we hit first. Yep.
One of them's gotta hit.
So like you take a total of like 6 damage. Just
What was it?
6 total.
Okay, so 3.
Yeah. So punch,
Okay.
kick on the ground,
Yeah.
and then tosses the silver and then keeps going.
Yeah. You see the silver just kind of disappear.
What?
Thank you, sir.
Pardon, moi, but what was that?
Hope you had fun.
Oh, that's how the creep here makes money. He just lets people wail on him and then takes their, exchange for money. I think it was a copper piece for 1 to hit, silver for 3, and a gold piece for 10. Was that it? Was that it right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's
Does
them.
does it not hurt?
Nah. Cursed by the gods, remember?
To not feel pain.
You hear like from the bandages. You hear.
Yup. Just the worst.
You know, I make some monies from doing the fightings, but I never gets paid for losing. That's all I gets is punishment tattoos.
That is a whole other bag of worms that
Oh.
we will have to uncover after
no,
the scavenger hunt.
The bag of worms is right here. See? And he shows a tattoo of like a nasty pile of worms.
I have.
Oh fuck it.
I got a bag of
Grubs.
that more experienced people might know as a grick.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yuck.
I got a bag of worms too, Torger. And Leek like just lifts up this green sack that's just writhing with these massive grubs.
Hmm.
I feed my uncles with them.
Those grubs looks like they's fat enough to pop.
That's the point. They make you feel all better. And then do you guys
Oh.
just keep leading them towards the menagerie? Okay. After about, the menagerie would be okay. After about like 15 minutes of walking, so you're looking at 2 hours and 45 minutes left. As you get to the menagerie, it looks like a big old stable made of turquoise crystal. And you can hear some weird animals inside. You hear one animal going, and then
What the fuck?
you can see like taking care of some animals in the stables is this large, not large, but like 6 foot tall warforged, wearing a big old hat, overalls, and just baling hay with a big old pitchfork. Looks over. Well, darn tootin', you're probably here for the scavenger hunt. A lot of people keep coming over here for a scavenger hunt, and now they won't leave, but they keep coming here for scavenger hunt, asking for hair and milk.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
Alright, what kind of milk you got? We got milk. You can milk any of the animals you want. You gotta do it yourself, though. That's the whole experience. You gotta gather it yourself. So you gotta milk the animal yourself. We got elephant milk. Well, we got elephant teats. We've got horse teats. We've got pig teats. We've got goat teats.
Listen, use points at the animal, and Doe and I will get its milk.
Well, what kind of animal are you looking for? People have been coming here asking if human milk counts, but don't think it does.
No, the most unusual milk.
Most unusual milk. Well, I think I can help you out there, my inquisitive friend. I got the
You
perfect
saying
animal.
we's friends now?
Yeah, of course. Somebody just give me a letter from A to Z. The first one that pops into your mind. First person that does it.
You.
X. Excellent.
Eh.
Find an animal that starts with X, Justin.
Sorry.
Zebra.
Sorry,
Wait,
you
fuck.
said the first one. and I was like,
Zebra.
Okay. What was
That's
the
why
other
you're a
letter
math
that somebody
teacher.
shouted out?
Yeah, not an English teacher.
Q. I say Q or C.
Q. Well, we got the perfect thing then.
Is it a Quetzalcoatl?
You see, I got this weird animal.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really give milk.
Oh, then that's not going to be a good animal for us to get milk
Here,
from.
I'll come give you a good one. Follow me in. Who's milking?
Okay, yes.
Who's milking this sucker?
Oh, Doe and I is going to be a team on this one.
Alrighty.
So as to volunteer you, Doe, do you want me do you help to get the animals to give all the milk?
You and Torger.
I hope you're good with
Yes.
animals then.
Oh, Wiz the best with animals.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see what it's gonna be. Something funny and unusual. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's perfect. He leads you to like this back pen out of sight from the others, and you can smell what smells like salt, like brine, and opens the door, and swimming around in a pool inside the stable is a walrus. Do you feel like milking that thing?
Yes, bring your milks to me, giant beast.
What a sentence. Yeah, there's
What a
a
sentence indeed.
there is a walrus swimming around in this pool, and it kind of just like surfaces and looks over at you.
You looks like you swollen and fats with milk. We's going to get some.
Okay. Who's attempting to gather the milk? And do you have a receptacle to put said milk in?
Excuse me, Mr. Menagerie Man.
Yeah, what's up?
How's much you charging for us to get one of those bottles?
Oh, one of the bottle. You don't want a bucket? It's gonna be a lot of milk that comes out of that fucker.
Oh, there's gonna be just so much milk. Delicious.
It's 5 copper pieces for a bucket. Can hold 3 gallons of liquid. You're gonna fill that sucker right up.
We only needs enough for a bottle, but I'll take it. 5 coppers?
Yeah.
Here's it comes. Here's comes 5 coppers. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hands you a wooden bucket.
Oh.
You gotta entice it with some fish first here. And the Warforged pulls out like a big old fish and throws it at the walrus, causing the walrus to like come up onto land and start eating the fish. Alright. Prepare your milking hands.
Oh, these hands were made for milking.
Oh shit.
Yo was just looking at their like gnarly fingers and just looking at Torger's, just like comparing them.
Just Torger's little sausage hands. Just
But
really
are they, like,
muscly
baby
tiny
smooth?
hands. Torger's hands?
Yeah.
No, they're ready for punching.
Okay.
These are like that scab like calcified knuckle.
I see.
Alright. So Torger is
Also,
milking.
I forgot to mention he has his main beard
yeah, right.
growing app is just a mustache. Like there's a little bit of like beard, but not much. He's just past the age of being a lackbeard. Forgot to mention that. Sorry.
It's all good.
Wow,
are
ruined it.
Are you milking the walrus?
So I'm gonna go up to the walrus and just like rub its sides and try and get the walrus juice out. Gives your delicious walrus juice to us.
Horrible sentences.
Animal handling check.
Joe
first-
would like
First
to
roll of
give
the
him
it out.
campaign.
when Torger's going up, Doe would like to like go over and give him a lick on the side of the head, and while she's doing that, give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
All right, so Bardic is plus.
It'd be a D6 right
4?
now.
Oh, D6. Okay, plus D6. Okay.
Give it Torger.
Yes, release your delicious juices to us. Okay.
First roll of the campaign, technically, not counting the session zeros.
All right, so that is a 14 total.
14.
Gives us all your delicious walrus milk.
It kind of just rolls over onto its back, so its belly's up in the air, which is very counterproductive for milking. But you can see these just. Can't believe I'm gonna fucking say this. These perfectly
weird.
filled walrus teats.
Udders.
Delicious.
So does we even get a small curdled weeping of any sort of fluids?
You can milk it, yeah.
Yes, okay.
I love to
Tur-
imagine that we're all just
turtled
listening
weeping.
to Torger talk to himself and just talk himself through this.
Alrighty.
All right.
While Torger's trying to milk it, Doe's holding the bucket with their tongue, like trying to
Perfect.
position it in case stuff's going everywhere.
Don't worry,
Just
guys.
you just see Torger sweating. All right, no one needs to freak out. All your friends are counting on you to get this delicious walrus juices out. Okay, yous can do this. No time to freak out.
For the
Time
You
for
could keep
some
that.
milk.
You could keep that in your head.
What?
for the sake of this, either Doe or Torger. Actually, yeah, Doe or Torger. But both of you roll me d6s, and we'll see how many minutes total it takes for you to milk the walrus.
Go to Fishy Joe's. Ride the walrus.
And I'm keeping track of. I'm marking off which ones you guys have gotten, so you guys don't have to do that.
So I rolled a 4.
Okay. So that's
I
4
rolled a
minutes. 4 minutes plus.
2.
So 6 minutes total to get a bucket of walrus milk.
During these 6 minutes, can Antyr like look around the barn if there's like a stable or something? Of
Oh
like
yeah,
a-
there's stables attached outside. And you can see all sorts of weird animals, but also like normal beasts of burden, like alpacas, llamas, cows.
They're gonna look
pigs.
up in the rafters, up in the high places, and look for a wasp nest.
Perception check.
Okay. Got my computer to work. Oh, fuck off. 5.
You look up. Nope.
I just hear Torger in the background.
Yes,
And just-
Torger's number 1. He's the one.
Just
He's
this
gonna get so much delicious.
disgusted, vile.
Oh yes, let it come weeping out of your teeth. Yes.
Yeah. You seem distracted. Are you looking for something else?
Honestly, I think
We
I was
have
just
a
trying to get
walrus
away. I was hoping to find like a wasp nest that we were looking for, but Torger is just so loud with whatever he's doing.
Yeah, all the delicious rivulets of milk coming out. Yay!
You can see Leek. You can see Leek pick up a little beetle off the floor of the stable and just eat it.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you mind if I perhaps give you some assistance, or?
Go. It's be my guest. I'll try to hum over the noise that Torger is making while milking that
It's an
walrus.
immaculate stable. There are no wasp nests in the rafters.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Worth a try.
Hey, Vonkar.
Yeah.
I've been looking at this list, and it seems like we could get a lot of these could count as 2. Like
Oh, like what?
if we found a tiny hourglass without sand in it, we could also say it's a jar of invisible ink.
We just had an empty jar. Can we just call that a jar of invisible ink?
Yeah. And the powdered wig, that could just be the pound of hair.
let me check something.
We could make a powdered wig out of a pound of hair. We could just do double of these, you know. A lot of these seems like they could fit together.
That's true.
Anyway,
Um,
I'll try to make a comprehensive list.
after about 6 minutes, you can see Torger and Doe come back with a bucket full of milk.
Well, no needs to worry. Doze and I got all the milk from that walrus. Haha, and it gave us so much milk, right, Doe?
You just see Doe's tongue come around and kind of just dip their tongue into the milk.
What does walrus milk taste like? To Google we go.
If I get a sip.
We need to return that to someone. Maybe get a small here, and Antyr's gonna pull out what appears to be like a small blue pumpkin that looks like a little tankard, and just dips a little bit and hands it to Vonkar.
Vonkar actually
Vonkar.
bypasses entirely, just sticks his hand into the bucket and just scoops up a handful of walrus milk and then just...
So here's a fun thing. I found on a site called The Flying News. Health and Beauty Walrus Milk, an article from September 2014.
From almost 10 years
Walrus
ago.
milk has long been a favorite drink.
is-
Yeah. Walrus milk has been a long favorite drink of baby walruses.
Just say.
Oh,
It's a high-fat drink with a fat content as high as 30%.
Very rich.
It could be. This is probably not a real article. We'll say it's.
a baby walrus wrote it.
We'll say it's.
Walrus wrote it.
It's a very thick, fatty milk where it's almost like you're drinking like heavy cream, but very, very sweet, and it definitely leaves like a texture behind and a taste of like sweet butter.
Torger, have you ever milked a walrus before?
No, but use milk's one beautiful animal. Use milk's them all.
Well, okay, so it wouldn't be an experience worth telling then, I'd imagined.
No, it seems pretty mundane to me. You just see an animal full of delicious milk and use his guts to get the milk out. That's just what you's got to do. Seems pretty normal to me. What seems pretty crazy to me is a bunch of new friends doing a sort of games together.
Yes, friends doing.
You are very quick to assume that
Hopper, maybe don't. Just leave that alone.
What are you
Oh.
saying, William's not friends?
no, it is just that we have come together purely for a need of convenience, and your eyes are very big right now.
I think if you all as friends.
Yes, me's too, little man.
All right,
What's
so
next on the list?
I've been looking at this list, and it seems like maybe some of these are designed to keep a bunch of people busy, while the other ones might be more for how he picks who wins. Like, for instance, the vial of a noxious slime from the Undercity. That would be like something that probably none of the other groups might get. So maybe we should prioritize some of those and stand out.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. Also, like a crystal from the roof of the Skydock, that doesn't seem like it would be very easy to get either.
You all would know what the Skydock is too. It's the central tower in the city where the skyships dock.
Yeah, it seems like we'd also be able to get some if we just, are able to break into the cemetery. That seems like we could get some, like a few of them chopped off the list.
Should we perhaps, for efficiency, split up and cover more ground?
I don't know about the Undercity. I think that sounds like it's off limits for a reason, so perhaps we don't go down there without a group.
I agree.
What if you? I've never been afraid of going underground.
You don't seem to be afraid of anything from what I have seen, besides talking to us people. Possibly.
But sometimes I'm afraid of just being alone.
Me too. That's why I talk to Cabbage and Captain, and that's why I'm friends with Uncle Vonkar and Uncle.
You can say it. He's just over there being a man made of skin.
Uncle
Oh,
Creep.
no, there's a man there under the skin.
Yeah, Uncle Creep.
I'm sorry, what? That is
Oh, no, those are just wrappings on there.
Yeah, it's because he's the worst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's under there. That's just his wrappings.
You can see his
Kinda
eye.
like
Look,
clothes.
if you look close enough, you can see the eyeball.
Can you explain the two different voices then?
What two different voices?
Well, there seems to be a muffled and also a crispy kind of a this voice. I do not do very good.
I'm standing right here and you're talking about me. That's a little rude.
Well, you seem to be hiding quite a few things, Monsieur.
You feel a little pressure on one of your feet. Nothing doesn't hurt or anything, but you feel like a touch on it.
I
Do you
pull my
do
foot
anything?
away.
You
I pull
do?
my foot away. Yeah.
Okay. You will still need to do a charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Great. I got a -2.
Excellent.
11.
So, regardless of whether you succeeded or not, what is your current emotional state?
Does it give examples? Or
No, just like tell me how you feeling.
How you doing? Where you at?
How you feeling?
Yeah,
Where you
where's Hopper at with this whole scenario?
yeah. Hopper's a little nervous. A little nervous, a little groggy, probably. Not quite thinking straight. And there's a little hint of depression in there.
Okay.
Rough.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a little splash of depression
Big
in
mood.
this moment.
Yeah. So, because you failed the saving throw,
Mm-hmm.
instead of like explaining your alignment, could you explain like Hopper's vibe? Like, I mean, you could say alignment, but like, if you feel alignment is too restrictive, you can go into detail. But something along those lines.
Definitely like of the chaotic neutral pipeline of sorts. But it's more currently he's in the investigatory phase of meeting new people. And so he's trying to learn a lot to use his new knowledge to perhaps some Feywild shenanigans.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, you just feel like a weird sensation on your foot and step away.
Yeah. What was that? Something just touched my foot.
It's probably a bug or something. Hopper.
It felt a lot heavier than a bug.
I mean, have you seen Leek's bugs? The
Yeah,
big-
look at these. And he pulls out one of the rhinoceros grubs and just like shakes it around. Here, I'll post a picture of what those look like. Does anyone have a phobia of like looking at bugs? Just out of curiosity before I post it in the group chat. Cool beans.
Yeah, that's
Bug.
Mildly.
some of us
It'll
are
be
spiders, but
Okay.
grubs
Yeah.
should be fine.
They're just grubs.
I
They're
mean,
cute little
depends.
guys. These are what's in his bag.
Depends on that.
As long as it doesn't
How
have more than
close up.
6 legs, we're good.
It definitely does.
It definitely does.
It sure does.
Ugh.
Yeah, these are my good grubs.
It's like the
I
things
see.
they eat in the Lion King.
Yeah.
Slimy,
Slimy yet
satisfying.
satisfying.
Here, I'll prove that we're all friends. And he's gonna cast good grubs and reaches a handful of 10 of these rhinoceros grubs out of his bag and gives one to each of you.
Nice.
Thank you, little guy. Squish, 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 squish. Rolls around in his fingers a little bit. Oh,
Yeah, and they're just, they act like good berries.
Does we needs to eat it right now, or should we eat
Just-
it later?
You're 4 foot. How tall are you?
10 or
So
10.
he's 4 feet, so he just like looks up at you a little bit, just staring and blinking.
All right, if you wants me to eat it now, I'll eat it now. It's cool. It's not so big deal. I eat all sorts of weird thing. What, you want some walrus milks? I'll give you a little bit of walrus milks.
Yeah, here.
Very
pour,
good.
Pour it in my flask. And he lifts up the little like bottle of silver flask of let's say like an onion, and pops the cork. And as he pops the cork, a strong aroma of black coffee comes out. Yeah.
Then Torger scoops his hand in, and then scoops it along the flask because it's just that thick. It's
Excellent.
just that thick to get it scraping each finger into the flask. helping get the vial back on. So you's probably going to want to shake that.
As he's shaking it, you hear a scream from somewhere in the city towards the skydock, and you can see people were trying to climb up the side of the skydock because you're not that far from it, and you just watch as someone just falls off the top. Like, it's a good, like, couple 100 feet up, and they just plummet and disappear in the streets below.
Those dumb ding-dongs. They don't even know that you can just flies up there. Do you guys want me to fly up there and I can get one of those crystals real easy?
You can fly?
Sure.
You would also
Yeah,
know that
you-
you can just go into this tower and go climb up to the top with the stairs and elevators, but these people decide to scale the side of it.
Antyr's gonna follow suit and go toward the person that fell and wants to peruse through their bag.
Okay.
As they're leaving, Hopper's gonna be, no, Antyr, don't leave me, don't, no.
No, follow. Oh, how unfortunate.
Okay, so you're headed in the direction of the tower. Who is? What's everyone's movement speed? Because you have to move. You generally move the slowest of the person in your party. So what's everyone's movement speed? Leek is at 30.
30.
30.
30.
40.
So you're moving at 30 feet. Okay. You get to where the tower is, and you can see this massive. Where is it on my list here? The sky dock. Everyone loves a good dock. No. No.
Everyone loves like a dog. Nah.
You see this tall tower of white quartz that rises up towards the sky. The top of the building is domed in appearance with 6 large docks jutting out from the top, where the occasional smaller airship docks. And people flock in and out of the front door, and someone fell from the very top because they were trying to climb it. You see a halfling person who hit the ground and left a little crater in the pavement. And there's some mages that kind of, as you get up close, these mages kind of just appear out of nothingness in like flowing purple robes.
Wait, he stole something from me.
Deception check.
Fuck.
Get
Oh,
it, Antyr.
not a good insight
8.
check though.
18
18. I rolled 6.
with no
Roll 6.
modifier.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
What exactly did they steal from you? And we will let you know if they're on the person. Investigation.
bag.
and all that. Hands you this.
bag.
Hands you. Yeah, there's a They're like wearing a satchel bag.
Perfect.
That had recently had something shoved into it, and they hand you the satchel. Of course.
Thank you.
Sorry for the theft. We will, and then they wave their hands, and the body disappears, and then the mages disappear, and the pavement is fixed, and there is no more gore on the pavement. And you can see this halfling's adventuring group that he was with are kind of just standing at the base of the tower, looking around like,
Goodbye.
"Hey, no, that's our stuff."
No, obviously it was mine.
Like a muscular dwarf pushes forward and draws a short sword. No, it's our stuff.
I don't think you want to do that.
Hey,
Get in there.
what you guys doing messing with my new's best friend?
It's all our shit. Pointing to the bag that Antyr now is like walking away with.
Hold on, are you calling my friend a liar?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they all hear a
Oh, the grudge girl noise.
Can't actually
And,
hear. We couldn't hear noise.
Yeah.
It got cut out.
It's just,
Freaking
At the start of
phasmophobia.
it, just
like that croaking.
yeah.
you just with your mouth open.
You hear nothing.
Somehow you can hear that silence.
Yeah. We're like, what the fuck?
And
You hear silence, and I'm aware of it.
and the creep casts enthrall
On the dwarf who's getting aggressive.
on the dwarf and the people that appear to be in his cohort.
Okay.
Pretty much everybody in the area
Okay.
outside of his party.
How many people can you cast that on? Because they had 7 members. The one went splat, so there's 6 people left.
and everyone within range, 60 feet.
Okay. And it's a wisdom save.
There's no
I imagine,
number.
for enthrall.
There is a wisdom save.
Okay, it's a dwarf, a human, tiefling, Lokatha, so a fish human, we'll say, and a Kuatoa. No, not that one. Okay.
Bjorkstans.
No. 12, 13, 7, 8. Got 2 more to go. 2 plus 2, 4. And a 14.
Okay, they all fail, and they
They all just
can't
kinda
perceive. They can't perceive anybody except the creep.
They also start looking at the creep, and they all like approach
And
the
they-
creep.
And if they try to see anybody else, they have disadvantage on a perception check to perceive anybody
Sure.
else.
Uh,
So everybody else can book it if they want.
the 6, just you see like their eyes glaze over with this like, just their eyes glaze over, and they all just like, all of their heads just turn towards the creep, slack jawed.
And it's just like, and it's all just like, well, they're not incapacitated or
No, I know.
anything. They just, yeah.
Where's the dwarf in this moment?
Just pull the sword out and just kind of keep staring at the creep,
What kind of armor do they have on?
like basic, like chainmail.
Oh, that's right. You guys could just rob them blind too.
Antyr's gonna walk over.
There are
and-
like other people like in the vicinity, like
Yeah.
commoners are like watching this whole thing unfold.
Oh, true.
I'm just looking like, what the fuck's happening? And so hear someone go, oh, it's probably just the fucking adventures that word we've called into town. Just pay them no mind. All right, and the guy just walk away.
Yes, this is a part of this scavenger hunt. We are merely participating in a team effort here, so this is all part of Mr. Wordweave's games.
I mean, it's not a
Pay no
lie.
mind.
It's not a lie.
Antyr's
If you're
gonna look
do
through the
something-
bag.
Start directing traffic
Guys-
away from the area.
Guys, if you're gonna do something, do it quick. We only got about a minute of this.
Yeah.
Do you think that they got about a pound of hair?
Well, we'll find
Oh
out.
yes.
Antyr,
perfect.
the spell lasts for a
We'll
minute.
find out later.
You just heard a
Let's
voice
go.
say it lasts for a minute. You guys gonna book it? You got a minute before they all start waking up again, basically.
Do any of them have long hair?
Yeah, the dwarf's got like long, like braided.
Oh, I'm gonna cut pony. I'm gonna grab
Okay.
cuffs and cut
nice.
hair. Cut hair.
What are you using to cut it with?
The short sword that I have.
Sure, you get all of his hair off. Like
Boom.
the long hanging bits. You can't like get down to the scalp,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
get
no,
like
no,
just a
no,
big
I'm not gonna
swipe
get
and you get his hair.
I'm gonna-
Scalping.
I'm gonna
Scalp.
grab-
That
I'm gonna
counts as a pound. We'll say that counts as a pound of hair. You can
Grab-
get
grab a hair.
I'll say that's a pound
Grab
of
some hair. Fliff.
hair. All right.
That is both beard and head hair.
Sure. He has no beard left, and you run off. You guys all run off.
Well. It's like I imagine
Crudely.
Sure.
it's a grab.
Oh, I
and
get
cut.
it.
Like there's
Okay.
there's still some. Yeah.
As
So
you
it's
do,
not-
like some
and
of
I'm
them
also-
Shave him.
As you do, some of the beads kind of fall out and bounce along the ground. Just-
I
do-
grab those beads counts. Those counts as weights.
Yeah, they do. So, like the creep said, the spell lasts for a minute. Do you all just start running with the bag?
All right, go,
Yeah.
guys. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
The creep will catch up later.
I'm gonna roll percentile dice for each item in the list, and we'll see what's in the bag. It definitely has a crystal from the sky dock, so I'll mark that off for you
Perfect.
guys.
Okay.
Oh, because he grabbed it before he fell.
All right, percentile dice. A
By the
silly
way,
hat
that was
for
an awesome move, Antyr. That was so cool.
The both of you were top notch.
a silly hat for each member of your group. There's 7 of you, and there was 6 of them. So we'll see if
Wasn't there a total of 7 of them?
there were 7, but one of them
the guy
fell.
died?
Right?
right.
Oh, did he have his hat on him?
He probably had his hat on him.
No, he
That
didn't.
makes
He didn't.
sense.
Hat's not on him.
Oh.
Hat's not on him
Okay.
because you're able to cut his hair off. All right, percentile dice to see if they have hats in the bag. There are no hats in the bag.
Damn it.
There is a skull of a strange creature in there. It's a skull of a. I actually have what the skull. Hold on. It is a. Man, this just made the scavenger hunt go down real quick. Okay. It is the skull of a owl bear. So it's like
Oh,
a
wow.
young owl bear,
Jeez.
so it's a small
Oh, okay,
young
okay,
owl
okay. I was
bear
like,
skull.
woof.
So the skull of a strange animal, creature rather. You got that. There is no vial of noxious slime. I will say that.
There.
There is no.
We're only 30 minutes in now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but for 30 minutes. There is no finger bone of a priest.
Okay.
There is no experience worth telling, because how do you put that in a bag?
Right.
Correct.
There is a platinum coin.
Nice.
Damn.
Let's see if there's a dessert in there. There is a chocolate eclair filled with vanilla cream with a gold leaf on top.
Sweet.
It's getting all like
right?
smushed up in the bag though, but it's,
It's still there.
Usable.
There is no mole removed from the nose of a hag.
Right.
Yes, but I'm wondering on that thing. I'm wondering how's the moles gets up the hag's nose, and wouldn't the hags wants us to help it?
No, it's like the
remove
beauty
it?
mark. The beauty mark.
Oh,
Mm.
words has two meanings.
There's a little
More
jar.
you know.
There's a little jar labeled invisible ink. And
Easy.
you can briefly see like a liquid in there
Oh,
as it
it
catches the
actually
light.
was.
There is no cookie cutter shaped like a unicorn.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is no penny farthing, so there is no bicycle in there.
Oh, I didn't even know what that was. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie,
I
I
was
was
like-
like, okay.
It's what
It's a
Yeah. It's the
it's what
Victorian bike.
Yeah.
Yes.
The big wheel in the front,
Wait.
small in the back.
Gravel.
Gravel's
Gravels.
bike, yeah.
yes.
Wait, does yours mean like a velocipede?
Yeah, basically. There is a glass
Mhm.
slipper that
Oh,
reeks of
nice.
sweat.
Gross.
There is a paper wasp nest in a jar. These guys fucking were cleaning
Wow.
house. You can see a broken hourglass without any sand in it. Like they broke the hourglass to get the sand out.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
No clothes stolen from a scarecrow. Because how would you know?
Yeah.
Maybe actually. And there is no urn. There are no nails from a coffin. There is a teacup from a child set. It's like a flowery teacup.
Bad for these people.
It's a flowery teacup, and on the bottom there's like a little sticker that says "Property of James." There's no spinning top toy. There is a powdered judge wig.
Nice.
There is a diary. You just don't know what language it's written in.
Perfect.
Well, do any of us recognize it?
The diary's closed, so you don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
This dwarf just stores his old socks in the bag, so there's a ton of old socks in here.
Perfect.
There's a treasure map written in crayon that just says "Dance in the pale moonlight, and the treasure will be inside you."
Oh.
So that doesn't make any sense. There's a freshly moist glass eye,
Ugh.
Ugh.
and a gift for me. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got items that are left: silly old hats for everybody, noxious slime, finger bone, expensive liquor, an experience worth telling, a mole from a hag, cookie cutter, penny farthing, scarecrow clothes, urn, nails from a coffin of a politician, spinning toy top, socks, and a gift for me, and I will send you the updated list.
Oh, thanks.
It seems like one
I
thing.
did my part, and Antyr will hand the bag over to
We got
Torger.
like half of them from these guys.
No, that was my bag that they stole,
Wait,
and I
why
just
would
simply
you?
retrieved it.
Why would you give me the bag?
Well, you have the milk, so I just assumed that you would want to hold on to everything.
That being said, as you steal the bag and run off and get a collection of what is in the bag, we're gonna go to break there,
Nice.
and we'll be back here in 10 minutes or so to continue the rest of our first session of this new campaign.
Woo!
So, see you all back here in 10 minutes.
Woo!
Still the most piracy.
we're back, everybody. Welcome. So, you've stolen a bag full of goodies and ran off. And I've posted the other scavenger items in your group chat of what is in that bag that you've acquired. There are still some things left to be discovered. You'd be maybe at this point still running. You'd be about a block away from the Skydog. And we'll say a total of... You're at like 45 minutes, we'll say, out of the 3 hours.
Alright, well, I assume that we can wait. We should probably wait for Creep, right?
Right. We.
He'll be here, Evan.
Oh, I feel like I just heard a voice in the back of my head. I wonder where it came from. And I look around for...
I've been practicing my ventriloquism.
You have it?
Deception or persuasion, your choice. Don't tell anybody what you're doing.
Me?
Yep.
Insight for me, I assume.
If you want. Yeah. Vonkar, deception or persuasion, your choice. Don't tell them what you're using.
Alright. Oh, well, I think... Can I roll privately on D&D?
Well,
Yeah.
Right
You roll a
click.
D.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, roll.
Dungeon Master. There we go.
Alright. If you beat a 1, you're good.
That is a natural 20 for a 22.
Beautiful.
That one for a
Vonkar's practicing their ventriloquism.
Wow, you truly. We need. If there's a talent show portion, we needs to get you on stage because you do so good at it.
That was
I was.
Oh, thank you.
really impressive. The fact that you could get your voice to that pitch was the most impressive part.
Yeah, just listen again. It sounds like this. I just close my mouth and...
Yeah, those are the best. Look at me. I'm so big. I'm the strongest, sturdiest, stout halfling ever.
Wow, that's
Oh, no.
story, and I totally
No,
believe you 100%.
It's so funny because you sounds exactly like you's the creep.
I've been practicing.
Laugh.
We spent 3 weeks together.
It is a perfect impersonation.
Thank
Maybe
you.
you could try to do my voice.
Oh, well, you know, I have to spend more time around your voice before I can give it a try. Maybe you later.
Okay.
Creep. As the enthrall spell wears off,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything do you like run, or do you just chill?
Feels a tug on the chain,
Okay.
so he knows what direction to go
Okay,
in.
cool.
But he just the creep will just look at everyone when he's done making the noise and
Mhm.
everything, and then just turn around and start walking.
Okay, they kind
And
of
if they do anything, they do anything. But that's just what he's doing.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah.
One of them lobs a loose brick at the back of your head.
Okay.
You take 3 damage reduced to 1.
Okay.
And they just yell, "Dick!" And they wander off. Okay, we gotta fucking... I guess we go... And they just wander off. And eventually you all can see the creep slowly making their way.
I think I could ever get used to that view.
While this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and while Antyr says that, they suddenly feel a little pressure on their foot.
Jesus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before you roll your charisma save, what's your current emotional state?
Pride. A bit of smugness. And then this unsettling amount of consistent underlying worry. And it's not like a worry that's like just popped up. It's something that you could, I would say for the sake of this, you can tell it's consistent. It's
So it's like
constant.
yeah, so it's like anxiety, but it's not like a chemical brain trick. There's like a
Right.
reason behind it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Damn, what's that like?
Yeah. um cool. Charisma save.
Is it a charming effect?
No.
Okay.
It's a die
14.
effect. Oh shit.
14.
Dying.
Yeah, I guess what's your alignment, or how you
Oh.
however you would like to explain your alignment. You can do it like based on like a scenario that might highlight what
Antyr is their alignment is very centric around self-preservation and ensuring self-gratitude to an extent, or self-assurance. So I guess it almost creeps into potentially like a neutral evil to the extent of what the level of just doing what needs to be done for the sake of doing what needs to be done. And that is very apparent by an encounter, especially with the encounter they just had. Just blatantly lying and having zero
Oh yeah.
zero like the emotions that you felt, there was
Yeah.
none, like regret or guilt.
Yeah.
None of that was prevalent. It's almost it could be viewed a little like sociopathic a little bit, because there's just no qualms about it.
All right.
But
cool.
more neutral.
Yeah.
Hasn't hit evil yet.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Running a block, you'd actually be getting to the direction of the Undercity entrance, which is smack dab near the heart of the city. Funny enough. And as you're like running and catching up, you see this you all see this single floor guardhouse, devoid of windows, that has been built in an open space within the heart of the city. A large wrought iron fence sits around the property. And you can see a few of the guards patrolling, the same guards that scooped up the body of the guy who fell. Billowing violet high-collared tunics with wands strapped to bandoliers across their chest. Grass has been transplanted onto the property, as well as 4 oak trees to provide shade. You can see about 10 groups of adventurers who have been gathered for the scavenger hunt being carted off the property, shackled in wagons, like arrested and taken somewhere else in the city.
Did you say 10 groups or 10 adventures?
10
A group of
groups,
10.
so that's 70 people.
Okay. Holy cow.
Just like, you see like a bunch of people swarmed this spot first, and everyone, they're like, oh, no one's gonna go there first, and a bunch of people had the same idea, and they're in the process of being arrested and carted off.
Good riddance.
And it's at this point, it's probably 6:45 in the morning.
Should we perhaps take advantage of the chaos?
And there's still guards
sneak our
patrolling
way
the
down there?
there's guards patrolling the exterior of the building still.
What if we leave that one for last and we go for like a little less lawbreaky? Let's go grave digging. Grave robbing, isn't that what it's called?
Yes, we...
Yeah, we could
That
do
didn't
that.
say it was illegal.
Yeah, we just trying to find some buried treasure. Also, if you guys wants to be more quiet, all I got to do is just go, "Huh!" And then
you just hold your breath.
no, I cast Pass Without Trace on all of you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
and there's like you see like a little blood come out of it.
So
Does that take great effort for you to do?
No, it's good. It's just a little blood.
A handkerchief drifts
and just keep,
on a hand that is a cerulean blue.
and yeah, just keep in mind
just kinda
with Pass
dabs
Without
in
Trace,
those.
people can still see you when you're walking stealthing around. If you like did it right now, people would see you, or they would see you sneaking away right now because you're in public. It just makes you harder to detect.
Let's make our way to. Oh goodness.
You know, there's numerous temples in the city. Most temples have crypts where they bury their faithful.
Okay, maybe I'll do that later then.
Vonkar.
For where they're patrolling around there, can we see the actual entrance
No.
down?
Nope. And
Vonkar, maybe I can have a look.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Alright, while I'm away, just don't let anybody do anything with the crew. You know, keep his bandages on and everything. Alright.
and Grin's gonna fly towards the.
Yeah, he's gonna scope it out, see what's going on there, see where the entrance to the Undercity
so
is, and yeah.
it's a guardhouse. You don't see an entrance to an Undercity at all. Just a guardhouse built in the middle of this square, with transplanted grass that the guardhouse has been built on top of, with a wrought iron fence around it and trees. And they're patrolling the exterior of the guardhouse.
Okay, but it's general knowledge that this is the entrance to the Undercity.
This is what people say where the vicinity of it is. Yeah.
All right, can I poke around?
Yeah, you see the guardhouse, a wrought iron fence, and some trees, and a front door that's got a massive padlock on it.
Are there any windows?
Nope.
Interesting. Padlock.
And yeah, like a guard's constantly patrolling it in a clockwise pattern with like wands. The ones that are patrolling the building, the exterior, their wands are out. The ones that aren't, that are like carting the people away, their wands are in their bandoliers.
The guards wandering this area.
Yeah.
Their
wands are out, and there's like light coming off of the wands, like a colorful light.
Cool. The ones that are closest to this tower.
Yeah.
Do I see any keys on their hips?
No.
Okay. So there's a padlock. Can't find anyone with the key. All right. Yeah, that's what Grin's doing
All right.
during that.
What about the rest of you?
Other people can.
While Grin's doing that,
Which nobody knows is happening except for Vonkar.
Correct.
because but the group saw the Grin like.
No, you guys can't see Grin.
He's invisible.
Okay.
I mean, what? There's no one there. It's
Yeah,
just
there's-
Vonkar.
Yeah,
doing
that's
it.
No
why
one
Vonkar's
knows that-
so
We're just-
hard to
No one
do.
knows that Grin exists.
Yeah.
We're just chilling, and Doe's
Sorry.
just looking around, and just chilling. Doe's going to take the book out from their jacket pocket, and they're gonna flip through it. And you see them kind of concentrating with their tongue, and it's like the little sides poking out, and then it kind of pokes out some more, and it's like flicking in the air. And Dave would like to ritualistically cast detect magic.
Okay, so what's everybody doing for 10 minutes while Doe does that?
Oh, well, Antyr will ritually cast Uncover Companion,
Mm-hmm.
which is shit. What's the spell called again?
Unseen
no,
Servant.
I'm sorry. Veiled. No. Veiled Steward.
Oh,
is
so
Unseen
Unseen
Servant.
Servant, yeah.
So Veiled Steward will be started to ritual cast.
Okay.
I thought you were saying Veiled Steward.
Stay a
What
while
about
and listen.
so? What about the others? So,
Well, stay a while and listen.
so what about the others?
Buildings alone.
What are the others doing? Besides doing impressions of Deckard Cain
Jimmy Stewart.
and
Jimmy
and
Stewart?
Deckard Cain, someone doing a
Yeah,
Deckard Cain there.
Jimmy
Oh,
Stewart
with
playing Deckard Cain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, what's everybody doing? We got 2 people concentrating on a spell. Bandage Man is just there, I guess.
Hopper's just kind of hanging out, keeping an eye out.
Okay. Leek is just staring at people that are walking around. Then
That's all right.
Hey, Doe, I just wants to ask, A shoehorn?
You just see Doe with the tip of their tongue. Looks like a wagging motion with their finger, and then it goes back to more twitchy.
Okay, thanks you.
All right, so 10 minutes passed then, so you're at the hour mark total then. Antyr, you cast the thing you said. And then, Doe, the guardhouse radiates an aura of abjuration magic. The wands radiate an aura of magic right now. I just don't remember the fucking school off the top of my head.
Necromancy.
No.
Because hippity hoppity, that'll become my property.
Come on. Evocation. Each wand that's out and lit up with like rainbow colored lights. You detect near Antyr, I'm going to say either illusion or conjuration based on the spell, if I recall. Conjuration towards Antyr. Yeah. That's it. Oh, and moving in the direction of the... Or no, it takes 10 minutes. So in the aura, in the radius of the guardhouse, you'd get the abjuration, and kind of slightly, the aura is slightly moving around, but not too extensively. An aura of illusion magic near the guardhouse, kind of like something's like.
Doe's just like, as it's coming in, you just hear Doe kind of quietly just go, abjuration. And like she's like naming everything out, and like their tongue is pointing towards the direction of everything.
They would also be able to see magic items, right?
Magic items ping too, yeah. It's just magical items.
Yeah. So you would see this leash around the creep that's heading in the direction that seems to be being pulled in the direction of the guardhouse.
And that leash would actually connect to that aura of illusion magic you can sense with detect magic.
Doe is just staring in that direction, but they're just like,
Antyr, what's your unseen servant doing?
They are...
And, yeah, so there's a gate for the wrought iron fence as well. So,
how far away is this gate again?
20 feet. Relatively close.
All right.
And there's enough people walking around the area, like, on their day-to-day business, that's not suspicious that a bunch of people have just kind of stopped and staring at the building.
Sure. Antyr's gonna send the unseen servant to the door.
It's like the gate?
To the gate.
Okay, gets to the door of the gate.
Tries to open it.
It opens.
Alright, proceed through. Find me...
Let's see.
Find me some noxious slime, please.
Okay, so you open the gate. There's still the guardhouse, which is locked. And you can see... You all can see a patrol coming around in a clockwise direction around the guardhouse. And their wands are like lit up with like this rainbow-colored light. And they're just kind of making their way around the side of the guardhouse towards where the unseen servant and where the invisible little guy would be. But they all see that you all do see the gates of the fence as the unseen servant pushes through them. They do. And the guards kind of look in that direction. They run over, and they start shining their wands everywhere. And just for the purpose of things, I would like Grin and the unseen servant to make.
Stealth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus 10.
Not for the unseen servant.
Right.
No.
Correct.
And Torger did not cast Pass of the Servant. Torger said they were going to save it till later, if I remember correctly.
A servant springs into existence. And what?
I
don't.
I did say I would wait later because I didn't realize we were going. Yeah. I thought we'd.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Plus 8, flat 10.
Flat 10. The wand, like, kind of is like scanning the area, and it unveils, Grin, just near the front door. It doesn't unveil the unseen servant because the unseen servant doesn't look like anything.
Right.
But you all see, if you'd like to describe what everyone sees just magically appear in front of the door of the guardhouse.
It's this thing. Its chest is heaving really quickly. And it is kind of what you would assume would be a mix between like a sprite and a goblin. Gray skin, colorful pastel wings, but shaped like jagged maple leaves almost. Ears, big, floppy, underside also that pastel rainbow color. Big mouth, almost takes up his entire round head, like all the way to like half. Like if he opened up his mouth as wide as he could, it would be like a hinge to be like all teeth.
Like a Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
As that's unveiled, the guard is gonna go, oh, and cast. Gotta double check what stat block I gave those wieners. Okay. That's just overkill. They're just gonna
No, do it.
they're just gonna like slash the wand and throw in like an arcane burst out of the wand towards Grin. For a 15 to hit.
That's right in the AC.
Okay.
Reaction within 30 feet.
Oh yeah.
As the wand goes to flick, there's a momentary like shift. I'm gonna do chronal shift.
Okay.
So it just needs to make a second roll.
Yeah.
And take that.
That would be a 19 to hit.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Sorry.
So it
Yeah.
slashes at see this arcane burst flash out of the wand, and Grin takes.
Oh wait, were there 2 guards or just the one?
It's a patrol, so there's about like 1 coming around, and there's like 4 behind him, coming up behind him.
Are they within 30 feet?
The other ones that are behind him, no, just a single one.
Just the single one?
Yeah.
Is the creep within 30 feet of Grin?
He's right next to you guys, so if you're within 30 feet of Grin, he is.
Is it? Okay. Then Vonkar is gonna just reach up to his necklace and is gonna use his cloud rune
Okay.
as a reaction,
Okay.
and is gonna redirect the attack to target the creep instead.
Okay, does a 19 hit the creep?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What?
You take 22 acid damage as the blast just and comes flying towards the creep and hits the creep center mass. 22 acid damage.
I think
Alright.
I think the way because it's a cloud rune. The way I think the way that manifests is just like
obscures,
yeah. Well, it's like because it like completely changes direction. So I think it's like a little like misty cloud, kind of like when people go to Ravenloft, like
Yeah.
appears and the attack vanishes into that, and then another one opens up near the creep and it just
Sure.
comes flying out and hits
And
him
just hits
instead.
the creep in the
Yeah.
chest. 22 acid damage.
And you guys see the creep just kind of just collapse to their knees. You see like the acid kind of eating away at them, and then you see the acid kind of not.
There's a scream. As Antyr
The
lets
guard
out.
looks over and sees
We've been
this.
attacked! This god attacked us.
He's like looking around and like looking.
You did it. We saw it. We
He
witnessed you
points
attack
to
us.
just this floating weirdo.
We don't know them. They are not with us.
And
You
you threw
attacked
that.
one of our party unprovoked. What do you think you are doing protecting the citizens of the city?
Sure, he looks kind of funny, but we don't judge.
Grin is skittering away.
Okay.
Yeah, why did you?
You can see the other. You
Use
can
guns to attack my new
you
best
can see
friend.
the other 4 mages circle around, their wands drawn and aimed at things because of the commotion.
So we are merely resting and preparing our spells so we may continue in the scavenger hunt.
Because of all the stuff, everyone we're gonna make a group deception check or a group persuasion check. Don't say what you roll. So if you roll it, just roll it privately to me.
Okay.
Persuasion or deception, your choice.
Can I actually ask if I can do something instead of that?
Yeah, what do you like to do?
I would like to cast a spell on the location of the 5 mages you said.
Does your spell have? They're all looking. Does your spell have for verbal somatic components? Because now this is a high tension situation. So if you start like moving your hands around to cast a spell, they're gonna see it and things may escalate.
I mean, give me a second. Yeah, there are definitely verbal components.
Would I be able to help mask because I am shouting at the guards?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So you can mask whatever. Don't really know Torger's casting a spell, but it would mask the verbal components of Torger's casting a spell, we'll say. But also, are people attempting to lie or persuade as well?
I
I
definitely am.
I guess I'll maybe just hold my action.
Okay.
I'm gonna use an ability
Mm-hmm.
to re-roll that.
Okay.
I think I rolled that to you. Fuck.
That's fine. You can see Leek is like panicking, like almost full-blown anxiety attack about what's happening.
Oh
Because he's a little
no!
8-year-old.
No, not Leek.
But for the sake of sanity, and because of what time it is, the mages just kind of wave their wands and shackle their other mage and say, "Okay, Dennis, it's your first day on the job. Let's just calm down. We'll take you back to. We'll sort it all out." They look over at the guy who got hit, who looks now fine, and look, he's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah,
Alright.
and everybody else looks, and you see that the creep is like healed, like almost to full capacity.
And then the mages will say, okay, just everyone leave the vicinity. Now. Just now.
All right.
Right. But next time we press charges.
Well, you shouldn't have been hanging around the guard barracks anyway. Just,
True. Our mistake.
and as they're like escorting you away, I need Antyr and Hopper to make wisdom saving throws. -5, please.
-5?
Yes,
Oh.
please.
Why?
Because I said so.
That's a natural 20, my dude.
That's a
-5.
natural 20 as well.
What?
Oh,
Unfortunately,
15?
that doesn't automatically save, but say
18.
-5. -5. Awesome. Thanks, guys. The both of you
An 18,
then
wow.
hear a voice in your heads at the exact same time, and you both are aware that this is happening. Like you're sharing a sort of mental connection with something right now. I see you found my little boy. That's so wonderful. Whenever you're free, please come and pay a visit. I have gifts for all. I've been paying close attention. Bye-bye.
I'm just gonna look up at Antyr after hearing that.
And then, as that happens, in the distance from Arthur's tower, you can hear more fireworks go off, signifying that the scavenger hunt has ended. Like, prematurely. Like, it ended after an hour. Fireworks are going off in the direction of the tower.
Shit.
So you guys are hearing like that stuff happen, and you hear like some wings like invisibly like come right up to you, and then
You guys saved me. Thank you. That was a bit.
Oh,
I'm a little embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm Grin. Hi.
pleasure.
If you are you, then because you are clearly the voice we have been speaking to all this time,
Oh,
then
yeah.
who is in the dungeon?
That's
Sorry,
a
I am so confounded.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a creep. He's a bad guy. He's bad.
He is the worst.
Yeah, he's the
worst.
worst. That's what we've been saying this whole time.
Oh.
Right.
Well, Gwen, it's a pleasure to meet you. Officially.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, sorry about that. There's reasons why I do this, so maybe we'll talk about it later. But right now we gotta see what we can do.
I forgot to ask, Hippie and Antyr, how do y'all know my mama?
Well, she rescued us from some carnivorous plants a few days ago.
Oh,
And then we did a little excursion for her to rescue your father.
which one?
It was Rattles?
Oh, that makes sense. He's always getting lost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wasn't lost so much as kidnapped.
You see him get a little angry, like child temper tantrum. Who took him?
Well, it is okay. We got him back.
No, who took
Everything
him?
is fine.
Who took him?
Seymour.
Yes.
That doesn't seem like Seymour's the type to steal people. He's just a tiny little bird.
Oh, wait.
It was what's up? I wrote his name down. It was Grando.
Grandel? That little fucking... He won't swear. He won't swear. That little satyr? Was he fat? Like me? He plays with his belly?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, you are not fat. You are carrying
chubby.
your child weight.
Was he wearing like an outfit made of fish?
Yes.
Oh, and he's gonna pull out the bag.
That's his hideaway sack. Did he rhyme when he spoke?
Yes.
Very much.
That's Grundle. He kidnapped my dad? Where is he now? What happened? And this is like walking and talking, I'm assuming.
Safe and sound with your mother.
She should have punished
Your father,
she didn't punish him? She didn't punish Grundle?
What happened to Grando?
Honestly,
Do you know?
he was not punished. He was sent off.
Oh, okay. Huh. Weird.
Would you like this bag? It would remind you of home.
No? I got cabbage. And he like lifts the bear up and just starts screaming. He like, look. And he just starts screaming at the top of his lungs to like mimic a bear noise, but it's terrible.
Well, Leek, how would you feel if we took after we finish the events for the day, how would you feel if we, went back home, perhaps? Antigoso recently reached out to us, saying she would love to see you again, and that she has gifts for everyone.
Oh, Mama has gifts for everyone. And guys, everyone. My mama can make y'all snacks and food. I learned to cook from my mama, so it might be nice.
Pretty delicious tea. I think it was tea.
Yeah, the tuber
Yes.
tea.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Despite what Leek has told you, she is actually mostly pleasant. I do not know what he has told you, but
He would have told you like she's the best.
Yeah.
The prettiest lady he's ever seen.
she is a good ally to have.
She made cabbage. He just kind of like keeps like staring at random people who are walking by. Be around this point you get back to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, just sorry, I have this thing. I'm a sprite of the Feywild. My papa is, the Archmar. I have this thing. He's the guy that made me. But I have this thing where if I touch someone, I can tell if they're good or bad, or what kind of, or what drives them, that type of thing. And I feel like it's worth telling all of you right now that I have touched the creep, and I've touched most of you, and the creep is the worst. So, if for instance, you're ever told that, or feel the need to take off his bindings, do not. He's a bad guy. He's currently cursed by the gods to receive punishment.
So he is literally the worst.
Yeah.
Of everything that I've touched, he is the worst.
Are you being honest with us, Brittany?
Oh yeah.
Would you even say he's worse than like people who is like part spider who takes people and then they makes them a slave and then they makes them fights until they can't fight no more, and then when they lose the fights they get tattoos? Is that what you're saying?
I've never touched that type of person, but I mean, based on what I've gotten from him, yeah, he's pretty bad. It's real bad.
Whoa.
Torger, where did you get your tattoos?
Oh, I got my tattoos. Every time I wins a fight, I gets a tattoo I gets to pick. Every time I lose a fight, I gets a tattoo that they gets to pick.
Who's they?
Who's they?
Yes.
Oh, they's the ones in the big city outside of where I grew up.
How many tattoos do you have?
Oh, I don't know. I lost count.
I'll start counting. 1, 2, 3.
George, are you alright?
What?
Has anyone asked you whether you feel okay? Or ever been a shoulder to cry on for you? Or listen to you?
Why is it? What do I got to cry about?
It seems like you have been through a very traumatic youth experience.
Oh no, you got to keep going till you gets all the information about the big world, and then you bring it back, and then you tells everyone, and then they go yay, and then everyone knows about what you got to say. That's it.
And what happens afterwards?
I don't know. Sometimes when Days comes back, they becomes the elders. Sometimes when Days comes back, they become a mushroom farmer. But we've never had ones come back in like, I don't know, like 250 years.
Oh.
Did you perhaps
Eyes kind of go to Vonkar.
Did you perhaps depart from your home so you would not have to fight and get more
Oh
tattoos?
no, that's not where I lives.
I'm sorry, I have lost track of your tale.
Listen. So sometimes
I am listening very closely. Yes.
when you small and you tries to be the best, You's got to do the Umber Hulk's run, and if you are the fastest and you win, then everyone knows you's got the goods. So then you's like, okay, I'll go up to the top. I'll go into that world where you see the tops of trees and you don't just see the roots. So I makes it my way up there, and on my way, I just went to another city, and they's like, oh, we'll help you get to the top as soon as you wins this fight. And you know what? I kept winning fights, and then I kept losing fights, and they said, ooh, now you've got one of these guys, and you see like a beholder on the back of the hands, like that eye stalks like run up the fingers, and they're different. Like you just see different eye stalks. It's a huge like beholder that is on the back of their hand. Yes, or use wins, and you get one of these, and he pulls part of his hair back, and you see like Catastrophic, which is like a weird, cool creature that's like.
I'll link a picture one for everybody.
Yeah. Like climbs up the side of his neck and starts to just get to the crook. Yeah, so, you win some, you lose some. What do I got to be mad about?
There is what it looks like.
They lied to you?
Oh God.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't really lie to me. What's happened is they was giving me a punishment tattoo, and then everything went black. And then when I woke up, Daze was still dazed, so I punched him in the throat, and I grabbed a bunch of stuff, and then I ran away. And I've been running ever since, and taking notes. And then he pulls out like a really like tattered, terrible piece of paper that's been like folded into and unfolded, and it's got like shitty, terrible notes. But I just bought the book, and then you see this really like beautiful, pristine spell book that won't ever like it's so it's a magic spell book, so it won't have water affected, it won't have fire affected. Yeah, so I've been copying down notes, important things to remember, like, oh yeah, that's a good thing. Walrus milk, delicious and easy to get. Just important things.
Damn near priceless spell book, and he's just taking regular ass
Oh, yeah.
notes.
Yeah, Antyr is sitting there like.
Hopper has this look of
Yeah, it's funny.
conflicted, like, fatherly mentorship, and someone who doesn't care. Like, I should care about this person and what they've gone through, and I should help them since they seemingly lack a father figure in their recent experiences. But also, why should I care? I just met this person, and it's a lot. It's like, if you ever need to talk, I will be available to you.
Okay, well, if you've got any more questions, I'm right here. You can ask them.
I think I have asked all the questions I need to ask at the moment.
Okay, you should try talking to Doe. They're like an onion.
I love onions.
Before I do that, what was the town you came from? Like, what's the place you're from? What's the name of it?
Oh, where did I come from?
Yeah.
Let me see if I wrote it down. I've got to go into my mind's palace.
If you didn't write it down, I am pulling it up right
Eyes
now so I
glaze
can remember
over, the note
weirdness
gets
about the place.
unfolded.
Got my character description. And that's all coins shit, so that won't be helpful.
Want me to tell you what it is?
Please.
Duergar fell.
Thank you. Have it somewhere. I'm from Duergar.
Doesn't ring a bell to
Alright.
anybody except for...
Creep never heard of that. He's just being polite. Or the Grin had never heard of that. He's just being polite. And Grin goes over to Doe.
Hi.
Doe just smiles really awkwardly. You just see all 3 sets of teeth, some spit just dripping down.
So you're the last one for me to kind of meet. And
Doe is just looking at your hand outstretched, and they take a second, and like you see almost like, you know, like when the light bulb like appears above someone's head in like cartoon. They're just like, I read about this, and they go and give you a very nice firm handshake.
Great. What are their, you know, what's their emotional state, current emotional state?
Anxious,
Yeah, cool.
Anxious,
Pretty much
wanting
hard on
more
their sleeve,
cheesecake.
essentially. Okay. Awesome. All right, charisma saving throw.
If I fail this, I'm gonna be so
Yeah,
mad.
you shouldn't fail this. You got this in the bag.
Fuck off.
Oh, shit.
So, if you want to, you can use alignment, but if you don't, you can kind of explain your character's like vibe, if you'd like. But it's what Grin would be perceiving as like their alignment, Doe's alignment.
I don't even think Doe knows, because Doe's still trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
They're just like, Doe's on a mission.
Yeah. I guess how would you? Okay, so like, a way to summarize that would be that they have a certain level of conviction. If they're on a mission, they've got like a strong conviction towards something, but
Yes.
Grin doesn't know it yet. Okay. All right.
I guess that's the best way to explain it, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And
So I have a question for you. So we all know that everyone died 6 years ago. And then suddenly there were more people like you out and about in the world. No offense meant. But does that make you like a 6-year-old person? Oh,
Who'd we lose?
Sam.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Do you have any memories before the no?
Those just shaking their head, just like blinking. And each eye blinks just like slightly off from each other.
Yes.
Hmm?
Amphibian, you can live in both the water and the air. I don't know. You give me, shark vibes. With,
You see
the
Doe.
teeth.
When you say that, you see Doe go with one of their fingers and like run it along their teeth until they stop at one that feels loose, and they just give it a real quick yank. And they look at it and they're just like, and they outstretch it to you.
I'll take it
Cool. You got a tooth from Doe.
and I'll put it in one of my pouches.
They do go grow back.
Very interesting. I will see what I can do with this in the future.
I was thinking necklaces.
I see. So, should we continue on?
Oh yeah. Torger. Hi. Do you mind if I
Doe is still shaking her hand because they don't know when they're supposed to stop.
Right.
Amazing.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good.
And you see Doe take their book out, and they open it, and they flip it, and they start writing something down almost immediately.
All right. All right, Torger, you. I have to meet you. Again. Hi.
Oh, hey, all right. You just wants to touch my skin?
Yeah,
Okay.
just wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah, I've got lots of new friends who likes to touch my skin, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Doze wants to touch my skin. Wants to touch my skin. All right. You can touch my skin.
All right.
I've got pretty good skin.
And he'll push the back of his hand that has the holder tattoo on it.
Ugh.
And yeah, current emotional state.
I don't know. I like to make new friends.
Good. Charisma save.
Be the one.
It's just like Leek when Leek was touched.
8 total.
Nice. This is really good news, guys.
Yeah, it is.
To the best of your ability, you don't have to stick to the alignment rules, but how would you summarize Torger's like vibe regarding like alignment, good, bad, not necessarily good, bad, but like just vibe situation as a general
Pretty much, yeah, I got
whole-blooded
you.
person.
I got you.
Yeah, okay.
No, pretty much unencumbered by moral relativism, and will, become friends with anyone, or like be cool with anyone who's going to be his friend, and defending those friends. It's like, just, oh hey, you said you was going to be my friend. Okay, we're friends now. He's funny. He makes me laugh. Wait, you's gonna fight my friend? Okay, let's throw down, monkeys. Woo!
Well, Vonkar knows this, but he knows this already. But I need all of you to trust me that you should not let the creep out of their binds. I know this because Hopper, I know that you're a good person. Ish. Doe, I know that you've got something that you're striving for, some type of conviction. And
You just see Doe's tongue come out, and they're just like, "Can I lick your skin?"
What did they say?
They just asked if they could lick your skin.
well, yeah.
And you see Doe's tongue just like side at your face, just. Good texture. Even than Torger's. They open their book. They start writing something else down.
Hey, Doe. Hey, Doe, an ice cream scoop?
Nope.
Okay.
Too small.
Oh yeah.
Antyr,
Yes.
I know that you are very self-preservant.
Mm.
but you still helped me out when I was caught. And Torger, I know that you would do anything for a friend. I know all these things because I have a gift that when I touch people, I can kind of get their vibe. And just like how I've touched you and know your vibe.
And he goes and touches the creep, and you see him like just wince and cringe and like look like he himself is in pain just by touching him.
I know this guy's a bad guy. So I want you to know and trust that whatever happens, if anything happens to me, you make sure that his bindings do not come off.
All right. I mean, I can agree to that. I don't know who this person is, and if you say they're not great, then who am I to disagree?
Part of their curse is a rejection of their name. Stricken.
Oh.
It'd
All right.
be around this time that you all would get back to the tower. The fireworks are still going off. You're the only ones who made it back. And Sir Arthur is standing there looking at you all. It's my absolute pleasure to announce our winners. And looks around.
I look around.
There's just
Crickets,
nobody
crickets,
left.
crickets.
I'll be honest, I got word that most of them got arrested. A few died in the city. Some were robbed, so they decided to quit. It just went completely piss poor.
That is
Yeah, there was a real dummy who tried to climb a wall. He could not fly. That is so silly.
Well, follow me, please.
Lead the way.
Leads you all behind the tower and further into the property, down like a dirt road, past the obstacle course. Where is it here? And as you're walking, he begins to describe, your first investigation, should you choose to work for me, is to delve into this mysterious jungle that appeared mysteriously out of nowhere a little over a month ago, and write down, draw pictures of whatever you may find and what you deem important. The sudden appearance of this jungle has seemingly disrupted the ecosystem around Lake Shadowmere, and some people grow terrified of the shapes that move about the tree line. He produces some sketchings as he's walking of the tree line of the jungle, and you can see it is made up of massive, colossal, tree-sized mushrooms of various shapes and sizes. The sketchings also seem to show strange creatures lurking behind the tree line, but with a significant lack of detail, like whoever drew this up didn't stick around long. A few of the magical surges in the last 60 years have pulled places from other planes, towns, settlements, and pieces of land and deposited them elsewhere. Find out where this forest came from, or this jungle came from, and bring me back detailed notes and sketchings of what you find there. Do this, and you each will receive the payment promised of 1,000 gold pieces. This is all the information I have. And he leads you further down the trail towards and Terry's tagging along, writing things down too, like he's drafting up a contract. Arthur leads you towards an intricate obstacle course where a large wicker basket sits, and tied to the wicker basket is a large patchwork balloon. I acquired this hot air balloon from the continent of Esselvire. It's a simple mode of transportation, magical transportation. It is incredibly fast. It's not like any ordinary hot air balloon. He produces a contract. Sign this, complete this trial investigation, and you'll be paid. You'll be my employees, and you'll have a bountiful hopefully, working career, I'll be your patron. If you do decide to work with me, I will cover any expenses paid during your travels, as long as you provide proper documentation of that. However, this trial investigation needs to be completed first before any sort of employment contract is drafted up and we sort of figure it out. So come back with notes, documentation, and we will draft up a contract, and you will be paid a salary as well, but again, that will be described in the contract when it arrives, as well as some extra benefits should you choose to be employed under me, and I can assure you will always be comfortable and have a place to lay your head when you're in the city. That being said, get into the balloon.
Did you say you had a contract?
It's being
Or is
drafted
this-
up for when you get back from this. This is your trial investigation. This is the reason you did the scavenger hunt.
How, so we hop in the balloon. How do we get back?
Oh, you'll have to find your own way back. The balloon has one last magical charge, one last trip in it. If you're good adventurers, then you will find your own way back, and you'll be deemed the best of the best, possibly even better than the Faust and the Furious. You all certainly seem better than the rest.
Like no one ever was?
Of course, but please, it's quite safe. Just climb into the basket. Get in, get in. There's enough room for all of you.
Go ahead, get in, creep. Move it.
Oh yeah, he would struggle to get in.
You just flop over.
Yeah, Torger just side hops it.
Hopper will do a front flip into it.
Okay. Leek.
Antyr's gonna do the butt onto this, and then the legs swing slowly
Yeah,
over. And
Leek
just kinda
has to,
sit.
like,
That's a full hop.
Hopper can
Yeah.
get in easily. Leek has to, like, Leek struggles a little bit to get in because he's got, like, as he's climbing, you hear all the clanging of, like, pots and pans, and all of his, like, cooking utensils are, like, clanging off everything. He's like, alright, I'm good.
Doe with their gangly ass legs just easily.
Oh yeah, just.
Oh no.
You just hear like pops and creaks as it goes over.
Does everybody clamber into the balloon?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's like a little name tag inside the balloon that's faded away a bunch. You can only make out like the letters G-A-R. G space 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 A-R. Arthur points up to a crystal ball attached to some metal framework just below the balloon. You simply need to touch the crystal ball and think of the location, and the balloon shall take you there. And as I said, unlike the airships that have returned to the continent, this device's magic has waned significantly. It has enough stored magic for one final trip, and he takes a step back. You'll have to find your own way back, like I said, but I'm sure you'll enjoy the ride. And remember, hold on tight. And he waves and waits for you all to depart. Who is gonna start the ride?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So, what do you think of when you touch the crystal ball then?
We're supposed to investigate the jungle of spores.
Yeah, that's on the map. Yeah, that's what it's labeled on the map, Jungle of Spores.
So he kind of looks at the map, closes his eyes, and then just thinks of the name Jungle of Spores.
Okay. And just so you're all right, you each have your own map, because you're all given maps with the pamphlets and everything. The balloon, extremely slowly, like agonizingly slowly, begins to rise up into the air. Like 30 centimeters every 6 seconds. Just...
Oh god.
Hold on tight! And you can see Arthur's looking like a little anxious, like, It is still just 30 centimeters every 6 seconds, just slowly, just climbing.
I
Come
thought
on,
you
get it
said
up.
this was a transportation.
Then, in the blink of an eye,
Anybody read any,
Oh, go ahead. What were you saying?
anybody read any good books lately?
As you say that, in the blink of an eye, The balloon rockets up into the clouds at 100 miles per hour. Just you all are like all like thrown to the floor of the wicker basket with the sudden just velocity. Just and you end up in the clouds, like floating in the clouds. You're like a mile or two up, just in almost like instantaneously. And there's and then you're just floating here in the clouds. The balloon's not moving; it's not being carried by any air. You're just suspended in the clouds, and you can see like these distant thunder clouds slowly approaching. And why isn't it moving?
Are we there already?
Maybe I need to touch it again and think of it again.
As you go to touch it again, you get just about to the point of touching it before the balloon jettisons off in a northwesterly direction at the same speed, 100 miles an hour. Just
Jeez.
the speed and force of this balloon's flight pins you to the floor of the basket. Just so people are probably tumbling all over the creep. Just like one of like the cast iron frying pan just cracks him in the side of the head with the and yeah, your voice is just lost to the rushing air and speed. And as you lie in this position for about half an hour, you feel the balloon come to a sudden stop. So people are jostled around in the basket again. And one by one, you can regain your composure and stand up if you so choose.
Yeah.
Yes.
About a mile down, you can see a small jungle made up of massive mushrooms and other fungal bodies. It's an explosion of dark gloom. Like, not colorful. It's not nice looking. It's just gloomy and dark and, you know. Directly below the tree line. Yeah, sorry. Directly below is the tree line. And as you get a glimpse, looking over, the crystal ball that seems to contain the magic for this balloon just shatters to dust. And the balloon and the balloon vanishes, leaving just the basket, causing the basket to plummet a mile down towards the tree line. And as the ground raises towards you, you're all pinned back to the bottom of the basket.
I'm gonna cast Featherfall on myself before impact.
Good to know. As the rest of you...
Doesn't Featherfall have like 6 targets?
Yeah, you can get the rest
Okay.
of us on
So-
that.
Damn, Hopper.
The basket plummets and
Oh
gets...
yeah, choose up to 5
Okay,
falling
cool.
creature. Only 5.
Interesting then.
Well, don't worry about Grin.
Yeah.
He's got it.
So the basket...
Also, don't worry about. I have a wing shoes.
So
Okay,
the basket...
but Torger and the Grin.
The basket plummets, gets caught in the wind now that it's empty, and just gets blown off to who the fuck knows where.
Yeah.
And you all begin to fall. You're a mile up when you cast Featherfall. It is not gonna last.
I mean, I would wait. I'll wait, because
How
like
long?
there's a second before we realize, oh shit, we're falling to our deaths. Oh shit, we're close to the ground. Oh shit, we're about to make impact Featherfall.
Okay, just so you know, 600 feet is the max that you get with Featherfall.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to
Okay.
time it right.
To time it right then, make an Arcana check.
Okay. I'm actually proficient in this skill. No, I'm not. 6.
Okay.
No, 12.
So you don't time it right. The basket just crashes into the canopy of the jungle. Just everyone's fine. The wicker basket slams into the canopy. Mushroom branches are like flying all over the place. The basket gets snagged just below the canopy on a branch. Like heavily snagged, like it's not coming off snagged. The jungle's canopy is so thick, you'd expect the jungle to be pitch black because no sunlight's getting in. The bioluminescent moss and mushrooms seem to keep the entire